What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Blitzed with Blake. I am here with a man we all know, Bogart Scott-Free. How are you, Bogart?
Yes, I'm the very elusive Bogart Scott-Free. Yet they all know who I am. Very elusive. At least in my version, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that brings up an interesting topic. So how was the show today?
The show was great. Definitely missed, the co-host for sure. You know what I mean? According to or due to time constraints, you know what I mean. But the next time we come back and we reform like we never left. You know what I mean? But yes, to answer your question, the show was awesome. You know what I mean? Everything we do is awesome, bro.
I agree.
Like, you know what I mean? It's pretty. We have a pretty good track record.
It seems consistent anyway.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Even if it's like crap to other people, listen, we're consistent with it. You know what I
mean? we out here, dude. We out here.
We out here, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, fuck. Bogart,
no VWV.
Tell everyone where they can find you on social media.
Shit, man. You can find me at the GMM Network on both IG and Twitter. And, man, you could find me on the Run Boys Fantasy Network. And you can find me on Sports Me. And the earth is my turf, bruh. Let's go. Yeah.
Oh shit. All right, so we're gonna be talking a little bit about a lot of shit that happened recently. Like recently. A lot of shit. Just boom, boom. Shout out to Adam Schefter for writing the show sheet tonight.
Right? Good look, bro. Good look, Adam. Chefy, keep it coming, bro. Keep the good work up. You know what I mean?
So I want to start things off with a little bit of Dak Prescott here. Dak got paid. Was it too much, though? That's the question here. Bogart, what do you think?
Okay, was it too much? Not according to market value. I mean, he's getting paid over. He's the highest paid now, right? But before we get into the money part of it, because he pretty much got what he was looking for. And that's my point. Like, what in the fuck? Like, why in the fuck pay him now after injury? You know what I mean? Like, you could have just done this, gave him the 4 years he wanted. So, and they wanted 5 years, right? So now, if you was to add in that franchise tag that they paid him last year, it was basically 5 years, right? Because now if you were to add that in, so it's literally what he just wanted a year less. Like if he would have signed a big deal last year, what he wanted, all he wanted was 4 years. Do you remember that? That was the whole gripe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just want 4 years. So now they're going to give him that 4 years, but they wanted 5 years on that contract they're offering him last year. So maybe in Jerry Jones' senile mind, he's like, all right, I got that 5 years. I'm getting that 5 years out of him because he got that 1 year out of him last year. If you consider that part of this, you know what I mean? Is that making sense?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Here's my thing, dude. Like,
why pay him now after he's potentially damaged goods?
Yes.
Like, he is damaged goods now. And so, you know what? Now it's time. Give him all the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The timing of it is what's peculiar to me because it's like you had an opportunity before he got hurt in the season that just happened, right? And then all of a sudden now you pay him and there's a whole fucking list of shit he's got to take care of before he comes back. Like this ain't just like, all right, hey man, appreciate all the hard work you did. Here's some money. Go out there and ball out next year. It's like, motherfucker got rehab and he got a bunch of shit he's got to do. Like, and you got to help all that go as well. Because you just paid him a dick ton of money.
Like a big old dick ton of money. You know
a lot. Dude, the guaranteed money is wild. What was it, like 120 mil or something like that?
Yeah, and like, you know what's crazy is like, if you want to look at it the way I was viewing it, like if you want to add in his because a franchise tag money is guaranteed. So when they've tagged him last year, he got what 33 million guaranteed, something like that. Right? Somewhere around that range. Right. So if you was to add that on top of his other guaranteed money right now, you know what I mean? This is literally what he wanted. The only difference is they gave him he got that he got that extra year. You know what
But
I
he's
mean?
got a bag now, no
Yeah.
doubt.
You know what I mean? But that extra year was last year. You know what I mean? If you have that 4 years with this now, plus last year, that's 5 years. All he wanted was 4 years. So it's like, is that Jerry Jones' way of winning? Like, well, now I got him. You know what I mean? Because honestly, he wanted the 4 years only, so he can move the fuck on when it's time, because he's still young enough. You know what I mean? Say he wins a Super Bowl for them, like Dallas swears. You know, the Dallas fans, like, they swear they're going to win a Super Bowl every year, right?
Every fucking year.
Every fucking year, right? So it's like, and say they do win the Super Bowl within the middle of this contract, like 2 years in the contract, they win a Super Bowl. Yo, he's going to be asking for an extension. He's going to be like, you know what? 2 years left in my contract. I just won a Super Bowl. We're going to, bro, you know what I mean? Like, this is like.
Right. Because realistically, he's going to be what? At the end of the contract, he just signed, he's going to be 31, right?
Yeah.
31 years old. Like, that's.
So by the time he's 29 or 30, depending on his, you know, what his record's looking like ever since he signed this contract, you know what I mean? He's going to be asking for an extension, or, you know what I mean? Or like, say he's doing bad. Yeah. And see, here's the thing too, is the first 2 years. So now let's get into the money aspect of it. Like, I think, what is the signing bonus? Am I crazy? When I first read it initially, what is it, like 60 million? Like, I mean, help me out here, because I don't know the exact.
So the exact contract here, I got it. Fucking.
All right.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Twitter ain't cooperating. So Dak Prescott, 4-year, $160 million deal, including a record $126 million guaranteed. 126.
Okay. So that 126 is front loaded for the first 2 years to a degree.
It's
right.
So it's 42 million for the first 3 years.
Okay. Yeah.
Is the average, roughly, is what Schefter said.
Okay. So that's the average, but
it's going to be first two for sure, right? It's got to be.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So we're on the same page here.
Yeah. It's got to be.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy is I think this works. Ironically, this works for both parties, because that's what the agent was fighting for. And now coming off this injury, it's probably like, all right, let's do this deal right here, because you know what I mean? Like, no one's even seen. You know what's funny? If Dak wanted to go elsewhere for real, and now this is in hindsight because he signed, if he wanted to go elsewhere for real, we would have seen videos him taking snaps, dropping back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've been putting videos out of him throwing the ball, moving around, like, hey, everyone look at the ankle, because I don't want to stay in Dallas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone look at me. I'm good. He hasn't done none of that. He signs the big deal. Says to me that he knows something. Hey, maybe he's not. Maybe the road to recovery could be longer than expected. I mean, look at Teddy Bridgewater. Similar type injury, but instead of the complete dislocation of the ankle, it was the knee. You know what I mean? And he tore ligaments, all the shit. Bro, it took like 2 years to like get back into football shape. Granted, this is not as bad as Teddy B's. Like I said, it's still along the same lines. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and everyone heals different. You know what I mean? Like, Dak is a behemoth of a man compared to a Teddy Bridgewater, size-wise. You know what I mean? Dak's a big dude. You know what I mean? He's a big dude. Like, this ankle needs to come back bigger and badder and stronger, bro. Or like, he's really just securing himself right now. Because if he knew he was that healthy, I think he tests the market. You know what I mean? I think he tests the market. And you know what's crazy is like, they weighted this thing all the way down to the day before it's time to tag people, because he probably told him, listen, I ain't finna sign no fucking tag you put on me. And he wasn't a restricted free agent either. So he could move. You know what I mean? They did not want to have him a day on the market. Not at all. You know what I mean?
No, dude, but here's the thing. So, side note, and something that will probably veer us off of a path, but okay. I mean, that's when we do it best.
Right?
Do you think realistically, let's say down the road, like first couple years, nothing amounts, right? Does anyone realistically take on that contract with Dak if they try to trade him?
Okay, so we're living in a world where the cap's going to drop a little bit this year. The addition of the 17th week, like the week 17, this brings like bro, I don't know if I read this number incorrect, but it's something like $100 billion, bro. Just adding another week of football, because you're really adding 2 weeks if you think about it, because we have a 17 week already because we have 16 weeks with a bye week for each team, right?
Yeah, right.
So now we're gonna have 18 weeks if you think about it. So not only they're adding an extra week of football, but you're adding an extra week in general because you have a bye week. So right. So it's all in all, with the TV contracts and, endorsements, all the shit, whatever the big deals entail to adding this extra week of football or 2 weeks, technically, we're talking about like $100 billion type of shit, like, upwards of $100 billion. You know what I mean? Mind you, I might be putting 10 on the 2 here. You know what I mean? I just know it's a fuck ton of money.
Right? It's a fuck ton.
Yeah. So that after 1 year of having this extra week, when we go into 2022, the cap's back to normal, and it'll probably even be higher than where we left off in 2020. You know what I mean? So he will be market value in 2 years. You know what I mean? He will be you gotta consider the biggest QBs at the time to get paid when it comes their time. Like, for example, Baker, how about this? Kyler Murray. If Kyler Murray don't get paid this year, he's going to get paid going into 2022.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Like that 2022 offseason, he's going to get paid. He'll be like a $43 million guy a year, $44 million a year. You know what I mean? Because that's where the market will be back at.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
With that considered, Dak by that time will be under market value. You know what I mean? And I say this too because everyone went, like me personally as a Niner fan, everyone went crazy when they were like, oh, y'all overpaid Jimmy. Woo, woo. This is back in 2017, right? It's like, listen, bro, watch in 2 years, his contract's team friendly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Patrick Mahomes, dick.
For real. And look at maybe Big Ben, he had it right the whole time. Like, listen, I ain't coming up with none of my bread. Like, he was finna, and then now it's like he's like, all right, listen, I'll come back. You know what I mean? Just we'll restructure it, because there's no way they could have got away from his $41 million guaranteed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah, because this is what the agents are smart. And look at that. When's the last time Big Ben got extended? 2 years ago. So at the back end of his 2-year extension, it was $41 million. Like, that's a hell of an agent. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, big time.
Because that agent assumed correctly that once we get into that year, this was 2 years ago, when he was like in 2019, when he was like, hey, once we get into 2021, this motherfucker is going to be $40 million for the going rate for QBs. He was following the market rate.
Sure, yeah.
Granted,
as a good agent does.
As a good agent does. Like, listen, that's what it's gonna climb to. You know what I mean? Now we're going into a year. Unfortunately for the Steelers situation, whole bunch of people they got to pay. They're losing pieces left and right. This is the only way they move forward. Because if they did, they would have moved forward without him. And even if they would have moved on from him, they would have took a fat cap hit. Like, I think they would have ate most of that $41 million. So it was like, you know what? Let's just restructure this thing, because, you know what I mean? There's no way we're fucked. We might as well just have you for one more year, which kind of highlights when Big Ben was like, well, I'll be back if they'll have me.
Yeah, right.
Because he probably didn't want to budge off that bread initially. You know what I
mean? For sure. The next topic that I want to bring up, Malcolm Butler moving on.
The Super Bowl hero.
Gonna, but like, if you think about it, is he worth?
That's what his career is based on, to me. If you ask
me.
Yeah,
for sure.
He's a playmaker, no doubt, but he's not a number one guy.
Exactly. His entire career, in my opinion, I 100% agree, is based upon like, he's the guy. Like,
I think he's an overachiever, and that's awesome. You know what I mean? And like, if he didn't go. No one probably would have took him aside from Tennessee, life after New England. And it's probably because Vrabel was there and knows the discipline of a guy who went through the New England, camp. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That went through the Patriots camp. Like, all right, come over here. I know you got what it takes, because that's kind of the culture they enforced over there. You know what I mean? But even there, didn't live up to it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he makes plays, but he also gives up, the same amount of
Gives up arguably
big
more plays.
big
Like
plays.
he gets fucking burnt, dude.
Yeah. I
Like
mean,
regularly.
I like I said, he's what he did in the Super Bowl is so polarizing in his career. You know what I'm saying? That it's hard to outlive that. And you know why? Is because he was a product of preparation that Bill Belichick's going to put you through. Like when he intercepted that ball is because he's seen that play. They ran that play numerous times that week in preparation. Like, they're sometimes they get in the goal line, they'll show that they're going to run, but they're going to look for the hot read and it's the tight end. You know what I mean? And like he just saw it. He saw the formation and he jumped the route. You know what I mean? Like that's great preparation. You know what I mean? So, and then, they extended him. He was an undrafted free agent. So when his time came, they gave him a little bitty bag. You know what I mean? And then, at one point they just released him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sat him in the Super Bowl.
Exactly. And you know why? Because he was sick all week. And if you're sick all week in preparation for Super Bowl, you didn't practice, you're not in there. You know what I mean? And Bill Belichick, people are like, oh, why isn't he putting Malcolm Butler in there? It's like, bro, he was sick all week. He's not, he wasn't practiced. You're not part of the game plan. Like, it's just, this is a guy
because all week you have a different cornerback in. All week you have a different guy in all week, right? So it's like you throw a guy out there that didn't have the same, once again, preparation key. Throw a guy out there and all of a sudden it's like, what the fuck, right? Like it's the same thing. And he doesn't, in my opinion, he doesn't have enough natural ability to just go out there and just ball the fuck out.
No, like role player is written all over him. So you get him with a good coach like a Belichick or a Vrabel, who's a product of Belichick, was like, all right, I know what it takes. You know what I mean? You've been there. Hey, I got this young corner, Adoree Jackson. I'm gonna bring you in. It's his sophomore year because this is a couple years ago now. You know what I mean? It's like, and you know what's dope with his time in New England is because he actually got to get paid because of it, and he got paid elsewhere. Like what he did in New England got him the bag he got in Tennessee now. And your time is up, and you're gone. Number one corners get older. Number one receivers get younger. You know what I mean? That's how I always look at it. Like these number one
viewpoint, but yeah, I agree with that.
True, like when you get older as a corner, you know what I'm saying? Like when you get older as a corner, it's not like you're growing with these receivers are growing with you. Receivers stay young, dude. You know what I mean? They stay young. So, and you might be covering the old guy, and then there's a guy opposite to him who's the younger guy, and you're playing in division, and this younger guy's getting off. By the time you play them again in that season, because if it's like in division, they're like that young guy. Hey, or how about this? They're like, hey, Justin Jefferson. Yeah, the last time we played him, he was burning us. Our number one coverage is going to him now. You know what I mean? Like it's just how it is. Like the number one options that, you know what I mean, that they're going to draw number one coverage are usually the young guys on the come up. You know what I'm saying? Like a Michael Thomas, these guys, like DeAndre Hopkins, OBJ, like, even Allen Robinson, I'll put in this conversation. Like these are number one guys. Devontae Adams, you know what I mean? Like they're really going to have to be done playing football before that secondary guy draws number one coverage. You know what I mean? Tyreek Hill. These are guys that, you know what I mean? And these are all guys that destroy someone like a Malcolm Butler. You know what I mean? When they
100%. Like, so the way I view football players, actually, as fucked up as it sounds, is similar to how I view cars. It's a depreciating asset, a football player is. But then you have guys like Malcolm Butler, who I think if you give them too much money, they turn into a fucking liability, dude. A liability, in my opinion. Like you give him money, and then what? He gets burnt. And he fucks up, makes a couple plays here and there. Ooh, hoorah, great. But at the same time, you had that great interception. You gave up, 2 60-yard touchdowns. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like that, it's a liability. It's no longer a depreciating asset, in my opinion. That's how I view it. But
yeah, and now he's a second time own, like what do they call it in used cars, right? A second time owner.
Pre-owned.
Pre-owned. Yeah. So this is what
Or used.
whatever team gets him next, you know what I mean? They're getting a used car. You know what I mean? Like, and it's an old dated car too, because for real, like the way he's built too, you know what I mean? Like he's an off coverage type of guy, if you ask me. He's not gonna jam someone up on the line and win on the line. You know what I mean? And like if you're an off coverage guy, you know, zone type of corner, bro, and you're getting burnt up, that just means they're eating up all that soft zone because they know you don't got the speed neither. And you know, this goes to what you said. Your point is that he doesn't have the natural abilities. You know what I mean? That's why I say he has role player written all over him. Like if now he's a savvy vet. I mean, if he plays nickel somewhere, you know what I mean? Like that would be dope. You know what I mean? Like
he's a great role for him.
Yeah, you're not an outside corner no more. Like, you know what I mean? Tennessee was one of those secondaries in fantasy. I would stream guys against them. You know what I mean? Because I know, like, they led the. Here was a cool stat I remember during the year. It was like they were at the top of the league of giving up like 20-yard passes, but they led the league in least amount of yards after the catch. So it's like you could catch that thing, but they deading you on the spot. You know?
Yeah, right.
So that's, you know, that's great coaching too, but that's also just because they were making up for mistakes. Like, boom, he got burned, catches a big one, and you tackle him. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, but you know, and that's like, you know, Vrabel's not fucking with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Like, it's ironic that a lot, you know, when you're a defensive minded coach, it's harder to put the pieces together on a defense. You have to build that, you know, over time. You know what I mean? And it's more so a game of balancing, you know, the salary and young players, veteran players, you know what I mean? To build a defense together. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy to find a role player on offense. Like, say, like, for example, like Marquez Valdes-Scantling, right? He's not that fantastic by any means, but like a team that's going to need an outside burner, he's going to get picked up for cheap.
Yeah.
You know I mean? Like, sure. Maybe the Rams could look at him. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to end up going somewhere for cheap. You know what I mean? Because it's easy to find those role players when it comes to skill position, especially receivers. Like in this right now, we have a plethora of these, like these. It's a mixture of these, like, you know, these WR3s and 4s, and then like these old receivers like the Golden Tates and the, you know what I mean? Or even like these first contract guys, like a Kenny Galladay, you know what I mean? He's through with his first contract. They're not going to tag him. Like, he can go somewhere and be a game changer somewhere. You know what I mean? Sure. Like, I actually want him to go to Arizona. Like, like that would be nasty.
Nasty.
Like, I want that for fantasy and not for Galladay. Like, I want that for Hopkins and for like Murray. Like, I would be all in on Murray again. You know what I mean? Because what's funny about Murray is a lot of people are going to remember how he fucked them in the fantasy playoffs. You know what I mean? It's like, you give him a Kenny Galladay, bro. That's fucking awesome, dude. You know what I mean? Like, you just give him more weapons.
Yeah, you know exactly. I mean? Draw coverage.
Right? Like who else is interesting that's moving around? I mean, we are going to touch on free agency in a few here, right?
For sure, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, no, because I was like, I don't want to just like go right into it. I didn't know what you have lined up for us.
I mean, I got Kenny G on the move down here at the bottom.
Yeah. Hey, okay, how about this? There are some linemen, right? That I was gonna watch the movement of these linemen, but like Sharif, I was like, yo, Brandon Sharif is gonna get picked up. There's so many people that need linemen, and then he got tagged. And then at the same time, too, I'm happy for that because I'm like, I need that line to come back similar or better to what it was in 2020 because I need that for Antonio Gibson. You know what I mean? Yeah, because Gibson is a guy. This is going to be the last time we get him like in the third round. You know what I mean? Like, like, because he's, you know what I mean? Like, he's one of those guys that, like, by the time the year comes around, he's probably going to creep up into like the back of the second round. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, it's the little things I was paying attention to. Like I don't know what my Niners like. We're definitely not going to franchise tag Trent Williams, and I'm like, damn, what are we going to do with him now? You know what I mean? Like, look at the Patriots. They knew how bad their line was. They were like, man, let's go trade back for Tim Brown, or not Tim Brown, Trent Brown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they traded for him from the Niners, then traded him away to the Raiders. Now they traded back for him. You know what I mean? It's just like these linemen are very, they're not a dime a dozen. I mean, they are as far as like, players that exist.
Yeah. It's tough to get a good lineman because I feel like no matter what, in my opinion, no matter where you drop the lineman, no matter where they're at, how good they are in college, in my opinion, they always need grooming. They're not like other positions, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, the guys they're facing on defense in college, some of them aren't even drafted. Some of them don't go to a team. Some of them aren't, free agents or unrestricted free agents. Like, it's one of those things where it's like they're facing guys whose future is literally a coin flip. But when you get to the NFL, it's like all these guys made it. Good luck. Like, there's grooming that needs to be made with linemen, I think.
No, off top. And like, good line coaches. Like, you got to have a good line coach. Like, I remember Callahan. I forget his first name, but he spent a lot of time. He put that line together in Dallas for years. And then he went over to Washington, and then he made that line phenomenal. Like, wherever this guy went, the line's going to be good. You know what I mean? Because it's like the line is its own team in itself, right? You got the offense. They're worrying about clicking, receiver, quarterback, chemistry, etc., shit like that. But none of that's possible without this line being able to make, protect the quarterback, etc. These are all obvious things, right? But it's like, that line is a team in itself. They have to play together. Like moving. Remember when we talked about this a couple weeks ago on our other show, where Anthony Costanzo he's retiring, and if you were to move, they were talking about moving Quentin Nelson. It's like, don't do that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, right.
Like that is going to change everything because you know what I mean? Like, not only are you moving another guy, one of your top guys, to a whole nother spot, you know what I mean? Whoever's replacing Quentin Nelson's spot before, like, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's
too much going on.
It's too much going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, way too much going on. Like, and the line, bro, like, I mean, you're a Steelers fan. Like, you could disguise it for as long as you want. You can even go 11-0. You know what I mean? Until, like, you go up against a ferocious pass rush like a Washington. You know what I mean? Where you got, Chase Young just fucking destroying shit. You know what I mean?
I can't believe we lost that game.
Well, here's the thing is I remember picking Washington, and it wasn't like to troll people, but it was because watching these mistakes that Ben was making because of the pressure coming through. And like a lot of his picks were happening sloppy, like over the middle. You know what I mean? Like easier routes that he should connect on. But it's like, that pressure was coming so fast and everyone knows, like, all right, just clog up this middle of the field because that's where he's going. You know what I mean?
And the thing about Big Ben too is he's not what he was, right? Like he's not going to extend the play like he used to be able to. He's fucking old, dude. He's old.
Yeah, he's old.
I got so before we get into everyone that's going to be a part of free agency, I got Allen Robinson was also tagged today, which I thought was interesting. What's your take on it?
So I immediately had to look, bro. And when I looked at it, he's a restricted free agent. And that's probably where he fucked up and he's mad about it. Because when he signed with the Bears a couple years ago, like going into 2018, he was coming off a torn ACL. You know what I mean? He tore his ACL week 1 in 2017. So now he's taking this kind of prove-it deal. And part of that prove-it deal was in that contract being a restricted free agent. When you know what I mean. So when they franchise tagged him, and like he really has no choice now. You know what I mean?
None.
Like none because of the restriction on it. So and he's not happy there. You know what I mean?
He's not,
Like,
dude, and he shouldn't be. He shouldn't
No.
be happy there. How can you be happy there if you're a wideout?
I mean, he's so phenomenal that he can catch balls from anybody. So for him, it's probably just like, all right, just whatever the fuck.
But how many quarterbacks has he had that can actually get the ball to him? That's the problem.
That's my point though, is that he's that phenomenal. Like I put him in the same category as DeAndre Hopkins. I put him in the same conversation as Nuke Skywalker, but Nuke Skywalker has a greater sample size. I mean, a greater, a bigger pool of shitty quarterbacks that's throwing him the ball. We're talking T.J. Yates. We're talking Brian Hoyer. We're talking Tom Macho Man Savage. You know what I mean? Like, you remember Tom Savage, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, he had all these shit quarterbacks till he got to Deshaun Watson, right? But he played phenomenally with all those QBs. So now Allen Robinson's similar. You know, he had Blake Bortles, you know what I mean? Mitchell Trubisky, Chase Daniels. You know what I mean? Like, these are guys that have thrown him the ball in his career. You know what I mean? So I think this is why I think they should have gave him a contract last year. You know what I mean? Is because how much does he have to prove to you guys? Like, to be honest, bro, if Allen Robinson is somewhere with one of the greater passers, you know what I mean? He's going to be in the conversation of top 5. Like, he's that dope. And he's young. Like, people forget. Like, I think he's, 26 right now? Let's see. How old is Allen Robinson II?
Allen Robinson II is 27 years old.
27 years old. So he just turned 27 this year. You know what I mean? So, and I feel like he's been in the league forever, dude. 2014, I think was his rookie year. 2014 or 15. 2014. Bro, it's a fucking long time. Maybe even 2013. I don't know. Either way, what the fuck? You know what I mean? It's just that's what a shit career considering his situations. You know what I mean?
I agree. Sorry, I had to take a fucking piss.
No, all good. I was like trying to eat up as much time until you popped back up. You know what I mean? But yes, so Allen Robinson, you know what I mean? 27 years old, dude. Like, you know what I mean?
I unplugged my headphones. I was listening to you while I was taking a piss. Yeah. 27. I mean, if you think about it, 27 years old, he's right at the point in a lot of wide receiver careers where you see them almost elevate their game, right? Because they've seen a decent amount, right? They have a similar or not similar, a decent sample size out there, but at the same time, like, they've seen the same corners. They've seen a lot of defenses. And on top of it, their route running gets a lot more refined around this time of their career.
Look at Devontae Adams right now at this point in his career.
Exactly. Devontae Adams, 31 years old.
Is he 31? I think he's turning 29 this year.
Yeah, I was fucking with
He's a December baby. Still though,
he's 48, dude. No.
I know, bro. Like in football years, bro, these guys are like running backs. Actually, like, if you know, because football years is a real thing. Like, it's like dog years. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like, every one human year is 7 dog years, right? Or every one dog year is 7 human years, right? So if you think about it, like, he's like, I'd say he's lived 2 football lives so far. You know what I mean? Because going through the injuries too. You know what I mean? Running through these different shit quarterbacks, and for the most part, being like a trooper and not really speaking out. Like, it was like this year he started like, and this is what I respect about Allen Robinson, because when you're a number 1 receiver, when you're a true number 1, bro, you have to have that swag to you where you know your worth. And at one point you have to start complaining about shit. You know what I mean? Like, this
look
is
what
like
Brandon Marshall did when he was in Chicago.
It's par for the course, right? So he was like, bro, fucking pay me or trade me. This is like before the trade deadline. Remember that shit? He was like, I want to get out of here. And then, like, matter of fact, whatever they talked over, you know, the conversation was had, and then he came out and like apologized, like, nah, you know what, I'll be here. till I'll play this out. You know what I mean? But maybe because ain't nobody wanted to trade for him. Because wherever he wanted to get traded to, he wanted a deal immediately. You know what I mean? He was like, enough with the tomfoolery. You know what I mean? fucking pay me. You know what I mean? Like
Dude.
Honestly, bro, I didn't know it was restricted, or I wouldn't have predicted him to go anywhere. Everyone played that game. Like, you know what I mean? And it's really just who's to say he doesn't get traded now, to be honest. You know what I mean? Now that they tagged him.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna move him, you do it after you tag him. I guess that's gonna be.
Yeah, and today was the tag deadline, so you know what I mean. But yeah, I mean, because there's still a lot of teams that I feel that would make a move for him that have the cap space, like him, perhaps returning to Jacksonville. You know what I mean? Like, he loved it out there. They got rid of him because of the ACL. They weren't willing to take a chance on the kid. You know what I mean? The New York Jets. I know a lot of people were saying Baltimore, but I didn't think that was feasible because, bro, they got to pay Jackson soon here.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I don't think the space is there for a guy like Allen Robinson, but the Jets is an intriguing place for him to end up because the Jets need a wideout like him severely bad, especially because they just get rid of all their decent wideouts and then they all ball out once they leave. So
I think that, but you know what? Could we agree that might be an Adam Gase thing?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Just life.
There's a good chance.
Fucking Adam Gase, bro. You know what I mean? Like, the receivers, they're like, I'm good again.
Yeah, right. It's a good chance.
It's like Adam Gase, like, he was like the like, oh, you're the man, bro. You're my number one receiver. You're playing D-boy. You know what I mean? They'll never see it coming. You're gonna take number one coverage away, and we're going everywhere else. You know what I mean? Then the game's on the line, they're losing, and they're like, all right, let's start peppering our number one guy now. We need hope. We need you, man. You're our last chance. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, for example, man, for the life of me, dude, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I want Chris Herndon to be a thing. And like, I'm hoping that theory, life after Adam Gase, Chris Herndon might be a thing, bro. You know what I mean?
Who knows? Who fucking knows anymore, dude? The Jets are an anomaly, in my opinion. I don't know. The Jets are the hardest team to predict every year, in my opinion, for who they're going to draft, what they're going to do in free agency every year, because it's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on over there, dude.
It's not hard for me to gauge them because I've categorized them already. And it's the Bogard theory that certain organizations are just cursed. Like, and I hate to say it because like the Browns, they broke the curse this year. You know what I mean? I always had them as they're just cursed, bro. It don't matter what they do, it just falls apart for them. You know what I mean? They may have broke the curse this year, right? The Jets, they're just cursed. You know what I mean? The Chargers, another one of those teams, just cursed. You know what I mean? Like, because the most unmanageable things you could think of happened to them. Like the Chargers, Anthony Lynn, they've lost so many games by like a field goal. You know what I mean? And like, or been in so many situations where they lose less than a field goal because the kicker's in position to win them the game and then misses the field goal, or like, you know what I mean? Just the most unimaginable things you could think of happen to these teams. You know what I mean? Like, okay, remember Geno? Do you remember Geno Smith?
Yeah, he got. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, like that's how cursed the Jets are. Not only because they drafted Geno Smith, right? But like when they were grooming him to be the guy, like, okay, we're going into like, I think it was 2015 or whatever, and he's like, okay, he's gonna be the guy. You know what I mean? Then he gets into in the locker room with some dude over some money, like shooting dice. Like, you owe me like 500, Geno, or it was something like that. And dude mouthed off to him, and he broke his fucking jaw. He broke Geno Smith's jaw. You know what I mean? And like Ryan Fitzpatrick gets in there and then has that season. I think it was 2016. He has that season where they go like 10-5 or something, right? You know what I mean? And it's like, yo, that's just as bad luck. And this was their guy, Geno Smith, who was their first round draft or second round draft pick. You know what I mean? Like, this was supposed to be their guy. You know what I mean? Like, that's just cursed to me. You know what I mean? Like, he broke his fucking jaw. Like, they were practicing. It's like preseason. They're in practice, arguing over money from a dice game. You know what I mean? shattered his jaw. You know what I'm saying?
That shit's too funny, bro. The fact that he got his jaw just straight fucking.
Eating through a straw for weeks. You know what I mean? Fuck
Oh
y'all.
shit. I got for a topic, and let's see. Oh, he's not messaging me. I know he's watching though. I got a buddy here in Wisconsin named Colin.
Colin, one L or two L's?
Looks like one.
Yeah, because I've been seeing these 2L, like, you know, Colin Johnson, the guy from the yeah. Like, I was like, what is going on with this 2L's and Colin? You know what I mean?
Couple 2L Collins out there. I feel like couple two.
I feel the same. I'm like, is this like a new thing? Like, that's why
sometimes if I got a guy named Colin at the dealership, sometimes I got to double check, see if it's 1L or 2. It kind of bothers me.
Yeah, I like it's kind of like the Wilsons with 2L's.
What's
going on here? You know what I mean?
Will Wilson.
I don't trust this guy, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like his own last name is questioning itself. Wilson? Like, you know what I mean? It's almost like not even sure. You know what I mean? Like,
oh fuck. He's up here in Wisconsin though, and he did say we're with the 1L. Atta boy, Colin.
Yeah. That like the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, right. He asked me though tonight, as he tuned in, he was like, y'all talking Aaron Jones, so we're gonna talk about it. Yeah, Aaron Jones enters free agency. Aaron Jones is officially a free agent. Who do you think is gonna pick him up?
Damn. I'm gonna immediately go to the money, right? People that got money, because he wants a bag.
For sure. He deserves a bag.
He deserves a bag. I say he goes to the Jets. They got money. It's Mike LaFleur coming over from Shanahan. And guess where Aaron Jones came from? Came from Green Bay with his brother Matt LaFleur. The other guy who's been ripping off Shanahan. You know what I mean? So stylistically, the schemes they're going to run, the terminology, he's going to be able to walk on day one. And to be honest, like, I would love that, because in fantasy, people might be afraid to touch Aaron Jones. He's always with the Jets. I'll remember Le'Veon Bell. He wouldn't shit with them, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. Yo, give me Aaron Jones in that zone run scheme. Anywhere is that, because that's where he shined in. You know what I mean? Another place that's kind of interesting to me, but it's not realistic because the cap situation they're in, would be Atlanta. You know what I mean? Because Atlanta, Arthur Smith is going over there. You know he wants to run. It's another zone. That's another guy who spent time with Matt LaFleur. You know what I mean? So you know he wants to feed one running back as much as possible. And that's another thing too. Familiar with the terminologies and the scheme, he'd be able to walk in there day one. You know what I mean? They're obviously tying him to Miami, and Miami's interior line is probably like the best part of that line. And what they did a lot was run between the tackles. You know what I mean? So I think, and Aaron Jones is great between the tackles.
He is. He's fantastic. Yeah. I mean, that's where he belongs, realistically.
Yeah. And like, he's also great, you know, on the outside too, though. You know what I mean? That's the thing. But that could also be a scheme thing, because that's what the zone run scheme will do. You know what I mean? But if he goes to the Dolphins, or if he went to Atlanta, like I said, or maybe, because if he went to the Jets, he's not the only guy. They're going to have some kind of complimentary guy. It'll be like a 70-30 split, right? But if he went to the Dolphins specifically, they feed one running back. So, and if you're paying him a bag, you're rocking with Aaron Jones. The reason I bring this up is because Aaron Jones don't play 16 games because he gets hurt. He's a littler guy. You know what I mean? He's not the biggest back. He's like 5'11", you know what I mean? Somewhere around 200 pounds. You know what I mean? He's a Shanahan type of back. Honestly, I would love him to come to the Niners. In fantasy, it'd be so fucking annoying, though, because it's like, you don't know, you would never feel comfortable. Start Shanahan fucks with everyone. You know what I mean? But that's the type, he needs to be in some type of zone run scheme. You know what I mean? Seattle. I like Seattle. They're bringing their new offensive coordinator. He's a product of Sean McVay, right? So you're going to see a lot of the zone run scheme because what the zone run is predicated on is the pre-snap motions, all that shit. So you get a good read as a quarterback, and then you've been running all the game, rip off this big play action. You know what I mean? Give me if you can get creative with a Russell Wilson, have a running back that can do it all, like Aaron Jones, that would fucking work. Like in reality, I would love that. Fantasy probably still be annoying because you probably still see Rashad Penny in there, stuff like that.
For sure.
But I think that big bag that he's seeking, he needs to, a couple notches down. Like, don't be the highest paid running back. You're not going to get Christian McCaffrey bread. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone should.
No,
you know what I mean? Fuck no. You know what I mean? I think, but whatever the bag he get is going to entail his usage. Like, they're going to be like, we're paying you this much. We're running you into the ground. You know what I mean? Like, that's my thing. And with now we're going 17 games. Wherever he goes, I hope it's the Jets. So in fantasy, people will be like, I don't want to touch Aaron Jones. And maybe he's a third or fourth rounder this year. You know what I mean? Where it's like, yeah, give me Aaron Jones with the Jets. Really?
I think I had two teams that I thought was kind of an interesting landing spot. One being the Patriots.
Okay. They got a lot of cap space.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So I think the Patriots would be an interesting landing spot. I think like Bill Belichick has this interesting system where he's always got like a cycle or a carousel, if you will, of these running backs. And I think Aaron Jones would be interesting to see land there. I also think he'd be interesting in Miami, though.
Yeah. Like, I mean, look at what they did with Myles Gaskin. Myles Gaskin was balling. And when Myles Gaskin would get hurt, what's his name? Savon Ahmed would come in. And it wouldn't look like you missed a beat, right? But the reason I point this out is because they only would use one guy. Mind you, that was Chan Gailey last year. He's gone. Their new offensive coordinator, I can't remember who it is. I can't remember who it is, but he's a running motherfucker, I want to say though. So whichever running, like I really hope Aaron Jones in fantasy doesn't go to Miami. Myles Gaskin was awesome, dude.
I agree.
You know I agree,
but I think it'd be interesting just because I think part of me was thinking Miami because I also back to my version's better. I also was thinking, I thought Raheem Boyd would be interesting in Miami as well.
Yeah, true.
So like it was one of those things where I was like, I mean, if Aaron Jones is out there, maybe.
Let's talk about that. So this is a decent crop of running backs. Like
it is.
Like there's a lot. You know
I would argue it's one of the better running back classes that has came through in a grip, in my opinion.
Well, last season rivaled 2017 season. So last season we had Jonathan Taylor, Cam Akers, Antonio Gibson, DeAndre Swift, J.K. Dobbins, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Right? Fucking awesome. 2017, the reason I compare it to then, because you had Kareem Hunt, Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey, Leonard Fournette, you know what I'm saying? Aaron Jones. There's one more that I'm forgetting. Oh, Chris Carson. You know what I mean? Like, and Chris Carson was undrafted, if I remember correctly. Like, there were some guys, bro. You know what I mean? Where it was such a polarizing class for running backs. You know what I mean? And like, since this class could rival those classes. We have Travis Etienne, Najee Harris, Chuba Hubbard, whatever have you. Who else we got here? You got Kenneth Gainwell, Javonte Williams, Like there's some guys, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously landing spots are gonna matter, but that's hurting Aaron Jones's case, is what I'm saying. You know what
I
I mean?
agree.
So,
I agree.
yeah, because why overpay this guy when there's going to be a ton of second round and third round running backs that are, you know what I mean, that are worth taking a shot on. And like honestly, to pay Aaron Jones big money to be a featured back, I feel like that's extinct right now because there's only there's less than a handful of teams that feature a running back. We're living in the land of RBBC, you know, running backs by committee. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like
No
this
doubt.
is what we're living in. You know what I mean? Like let's look at the workhorse roles. Tennessee has one. You know, the way they used Cam Akers last year, that could continue, right? Dalvin Cook, CMC. You know, these are the only bell cows. You know what I mean? Like the only teams really that run a bell cow. You know what I mean? Even Coach Tomlin, if he had a guy like that, he would run a bell cow. But
No
you know what I mean?
doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's his mentality. You know what I'm saying? Last season, we kind of saw the end of that for with Pete Carroll because he's dealt with so many injuries with his running backs, but historically, he just want to run one guy. You know what I mean? So maybe Aaron Jones for Seattle could be the play here. You know what I mean? Because you're going to a guy who's always going to be a Super Bowl contender. Oh, Seattle's always going to be in that conversation, right? Because it's Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll, right? But it would take a place like Seattle, an organization that's historically a winner with Russell Wilson, to be like, okay, I won't demand the biggest bag here. You know what I mean? I'll go here. I know you know what I mean? I could play my role and I will get a lot of work because you are going to still make me one of the highest paid running backs. I just don't think trying to get a CMC bag or a Kamara type bag, you know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah, because he is a timeshare guy to me. Of course, 70-30 type shit, but that's Aaron Jones, dude. Like, because he brittle. He gets hurt.
Yes, he does. Two things. One, J Love, great point. J Love will be joining us shortly. I sent him a link.
Yeah, J Love. Yes, because he's the guy that we need to be talking to. Me, exactly. I am all speculation. Yeah. J Love, on the other hand.
The other thing is Colin brought this up. So what about a second weapon with Rojo and the Bucks?
It's going to be the same scenario though. Like he's really got to go there. That's another place where it's like, okay, I'll go here and won't demand the biggest bag ever.
Yeah, right. Take a pay cut for the ring.
Yeah. I mean, what are these highest paid running backs getting right now? 14 million a year, 13, 14 million a year. You know what I mean? Get that 11 million a year or something. And you know, sign a 4-year deal, you know, like, you know, and we're talking, you know, say he signs for, you know, 14 million a year, right? But, you know, it's like 40 million guaranteed because some of these running backs are getting like 50 million guaranteed. That's insane. Come on, Aaron Jones, you don't do that. You know what I mean? But yeah, he would be great there. I mean, but still though, they got Rojo still on, you know, the what's the word I'm looking for? The schematics of it all, the logistics there. That's the word. The logistics of it all is that they had to franchise tag Godwin because they can't let him walk, but they also can't pay him because you have to decide if you're going to pay, you know, a Shaq Barrett now. When also you really got to be careful what you pay Shaq Barrett because you're going to have to pay Devin White pretty soon here. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You're going to have to pay. Like look at the Levante Davis. Awesome. He took like a player ass team deal. You know what I mean? Did I see that right today? Did you see that?
I did. Yeah.
Right. So, but you know, he's probably, you see when all the Bucks, when they win the Super Bowl, what do they say? Yeah, man, I'll come back for cheap, bro. Like, listen, Mike Evans is so happy. Listen, man, hey, I'll let y'all restructure my shit. Listen, now they're all quiet. Levante Davis, the only guy who was like, listen, bro, you know, he's been around for 6 years, 7 years or something like that. So, of course, he's like, you know what, bro, I for real, I'll take less. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Because
Exactly.
he's been around long enough that he knows this Devin White is gonna like people were like when people were talking about Washington being a spot for like Stafford or any of these guys, right? There's like rumors, Stafford or Carson Wentz, or it wasn't going to happen because in the near future they want to pay Montez Sweat. They got to pay Chase Young. Like it's just out of the question. You know what I mean? It's that it screams it speaks volumes to me when you extend a Heineke. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Like he's like, and he was so broke in real life. You're like, all right, we'll give him $8 million guaranteed. He's gonna love that. He's like, fuck yeah, where do I sign? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, no more hamburger helper, baby. He's like, we're eating filet mignogs now. We're eating filet mignons, man. You know what I mean?
Oh fuck. I wanted to bring this up too. Hassan Reddick was not tagged, dude. Was not tagged.
Why is that?
I don't. I have no idea. It makes no sense to me.
Is he a restricted free agent? Because that would make sense then. That means that they're gonna let him test the free agency market, and if somebody gives him a deal, they get an opportunity to match that deal and keep him. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna look it up right now.
See, this is where J Love already know it. Like J Love would be like,
yeah, J Love would have been like, dude, he's fucking restricted. He would have been on it. But hey, that's part of the beauty of us because we just are fucking here.
yeah, hell yeah. I'm about to light something up when J Love gets here.
No, I'm seeing unrestricted.
Okay, so they're just letting them go.
Oh, wait. Turn offensive. Hold on. I'm just about to read the Cardinals fucking website because they definitely got it. I was being lazy. I was reading a little description on YouTube, but
yeah, I was gonna say too because the resident Cardinals fan for the Rum Boys is J Love. He'll probably know why they more about Hassan Reddick as far as like his gameplay. You know what I mean? Like because maybe he's a casualty of the signing. He's collateral damage when you sign JJ Watt. You know what I mean? Like, all right, well, you know what? We're giving him 15 M's, bro. You gotta go, man. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, I'm really interested. I can't wait for J Love to hop in here. He said he's getting set up. I'm interested to hear his take on the JJ Watt thing too, actually.
You know what, bro? He was, if I remember correctly, because we're in a group thread, like, bro, he was ecstatic. He was like, hell yeah, let's go. You know what I mean? Because on paper, that's nasty. Like, I mean, I personally don't think he's an every down player. Yeah, on paper, exactly. I mean, you know what's funny too is like a lot of people will make their offseason arguments for their team. On paper, bro, we're a Super Bowl caliber team, bro, and blah blah blah. Bro,
everyone's Super Bowl caliber on paper if you think about it, except for the Jets, the Giants, and fucking some randos out there.
Defense though.
Here we go. On paper, the Giants defense.
But the fact that they're in that division too, I'm never gonna like. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, every single team in that division is in it. If you ask me, because they're always not only they're gonna cannibalize each other. You know what I'm saying? You really only need like what you could be an 8-8 team to win that division.
Yeah, you could go 500 and win that division all day and make the playoffs. Yeah,
for sure. And host a fucking playoff game.
There's no doubt.
You know what I mean? Like right now, I'd say the Cowboys fans are gonna love me saying this. They're the shoe in to win the division. Just because you have Dak back, just that alone.
I mean,
but the Redskins defense that's like the
whoa, dude, the football team.
I'm sorry. Have that stricken from the record. Hey, it's so funny because like when they first changed the name, bro, there was like it was split. You had the people that were like, nah, it's good. The Washington football team. Obviously, it's great because fuck racist people and fuck anything that's derogatory or what's the word I'm looking for? like a racial term or anything of that such. Fuck all that shit, right? But then there was also like the old school fans, that the Washington football fans, right? That are like, yo, it didn't sit right with them. You know what I mean? Like because of just it's history, but it's a bad history, right? You know what I'm saying? Like even the thing with the dude on it, man. Like I always said, if you were to, like put Geronimo on the side or something, then like a famous Native American or indigenous person, you know what I mean? Put a famous dude on there. Don't just put some random pretendo guy like it's a fucking composite sketch of what they thought was an indigenous person. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, he's a redskin. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking, that shit sucked. You know what I mean? Like, it's so crazy that it took that long. You know what I mean? Took that long.
Dude, so everyone, welcome to the show, Jay Love.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
What's happening,
local Arizona Cardinals fan.
Tell us about Reddick, bro.
Please.
Who's very annoyed about Reddick not getting tagged. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I see a lot of rumors saying that this just verifies Arizona wanting to go to a 4-3, which is not going to work. Vance Joseph has never ran a 4-3. He never will. Never. He's
a product of Zimmer, right?
He's a product of Zimmer. He runs that like the 5-2 gaps.
Oh, it's like a hybrid.
So he's not going to do that at all. I don't understand what they're trying to do. Reddick has, and unless they think they can grab Hassan Reddick on an extended deal for maybe $11 million a year, that's the only thing I can think of. But based on some of his tweets, he put out a tweet today saying, "People don't know what they don't know." Something about not understanding value, and just something else. He's gone.
Cryptic. He was just like, "Yo, y'all don't even know what y'all doing."
Yeah. He's gone. And then he also put out, I think the last tweet he put out today was "Where to next?" So his time in the desert is done. I don't hate it value.
I think he'd be great in Denver.
I don't hate it cap wise. Honestly, if they could get him like 4 years, $45 million, maybe 35 guaranteed, I wouldn't hate it. But he's not going to sign that. He's going to get a better offer. He's probably going to get 16 or 17 somewhere else.
He had what? He had 12 and a half sacks, right?
12 and a half sacks. 5 of them came in one game, but he was also the highest graded PFF player on the Arizona Cardinals last year and in 2019. He's been great ever since. So his issue was when he was drafted, and I don't understand why they didn't pick up his option after the end of last year. When he was drafted, they played him at middle linebacker. They played him at 4-3 outside. They played him a slot corner, even sometimes. And then in Vance Joseph's system, it's kind of weird because I'm going to blame this on Terrell Suggs, which sucks because Terrell Suggs is going to catch the blame here because he was playing where Hassan Reddick should have played all of 2019. And then when they cut him, that's when Hassan Reddick finished that year off with 7 sacks, I believe. And 6 of them came all in that last 5-game stretch.
Oh, shit.
So he finally found the right position.
And they cut him.
The option, and they didn't.
They cut Suggs, and he went to the Chiefs, right?
And won a ring.
He got a free ring, bro.
Fucking unbelievable. Terrell Suggs ruins everything. He ruined Steelers seasons. He ruined the Cardinals.
He beat my Niners twice on 2 different teams.
I don't
Terrell Suggs.
I don't hate it though because
T-Sizzle.
I think everybody here knows I'm a big Kenyon Drake fan, and I think this kind of points to him being back. Probably on like 6.5 to $7 million a year.
2 years.
2-3 years. Keep him till he's 30. Then like all running back, cast him to the wayside. They never mattered.
No Eno Benjamin? Love?
No, I like Eno Benjamin.
I do too.
He didn't play one snap last year. Not one.
But you know what? I credit that to like being maybe he's a slower learner because the type of offseason you had, you know what I mean? Like he probably just got beat out in practice every day. You know what I mean?
I think he can be productive. I don't think in any manner he's going to be a workhorse. And that's what Arizona used Kenyon Drake as. He had 240 carries in 14 games.
So that's why I bring that up though. So
that's a workhorse.
Benjamin and Edmonds Like where
Edmonds' body can't hold that. Not even close.
Can't
He's gotten hurt both past 2 seasons and in his rookie year, and he's never once gone over, I believe, 75 carries in a season.
Yeah, like he's a guy that like when we got excited about him, like when Kenyon Drake gets hurt, we're like,
Everybody points to the one game with when he was the
New York.
lead back in 2019, I believe it was,
Against
where he
New
had the
York.
3 touchdowns. Look at
Yeah.
his only game starting this past year: 20 carries, 75 yards, no touchdowns, 0 for 3 target wise. Terrible.
That's ass.
So
He is
he's
a
a
better
change of base back. That's
Yeah.
what he is, and I'll accept it. He was a 4th round pick out of Fordham. I liked him coming into Arizona as a change of pace back. That's what he's going to be.
Like I felt
And if
like
they don't keep Kenyon Drake, Javonte Williams in the second, Chuba Hubbard in the second, Kylan Hill in the third, I like. If they want to get super aggressive, Najee Harris or Travis Etienne at 16, maybe even trade back, recuperate a little bit of assets. I like running back in any of the first 3 rounds for Arizona. Although
I
want them to go corner. I want them to go corner in the first.
Yeah.
But if they don't, with
So
Patrick Peterson being a free agent,
yeah, dude. Dang, where's he gonna go to, man? He's gonna be-
Arizona, he's coming back. There's been rumors about him leaving, and like, no, he's not leaving.
Yeah, I could see him too, like, you know, because he's played for so long in Arizona, like take a hometown discount for real.
The only way he doesn't come back is if he wants way too much money, which I've heard he wants like 8 or 9 mil. And if you want 8 or 9 mil, go walk. I have a signed poster right up here of Patrick Peterson. If he wants 9 mil, walk. I don't care. I'm sorry.
We're burning that poster. It's like,
no, he
Let him
hand
walk.
autographed it. He hand autographed it. But
Putting it on social media just like all the fucking basketball jerseys, fucking burning them.
yeah,
right?
Oh fuck!
Man, I'd be upset when people burn the jerseys. Like, bro, like you just
Right.
got money, bro. Like,
you spent
got money.
$100 on that. You
For
spent
real,
$100 on that jersey.
But the
This is
burn
fake.
this shit. Yeah, it's
Um,
true.
I had so another running back I wanted to talk about was Chris Carson's on the move.
I don't think he's on the move.
You don't think so?
They're gonna get him for cheaper, and he's gonna
They're gonna-
return.
I think they let him.
The tag
test-
was what, 8.5 for a running back?
Yeah,
I think they can get him for 7. You're saving
Yeah,
1.5 mil.
I think they let him go around, and he's gonna realize with his injury history, people aren't gonna pay him that $7 million that he probably deserves. Like, honestly, he does deserve.
You can't.
Yeah,
Honestly,
it's good.
I think
He'll
they're
come
gonna
back
let him.
and Seattle will be like, here, well, no one wanted.
I think they didn't want to sign him up front so they can save money to pay an offensive lineman up
First.
front, and then
Yeah.
offer him a little bit of a smaller deal to return later on.
Yeah,
I don't see Chris Carson leaving, like, at all.
I hope not, because everyone else they got there is trash, dude. You know what I mean? Like, we're not like to be honest. Like, if there was no Chris Carson there, I'm that guy. It's like if they don't draft anyone or I was saying
No Rashad Penny love.
I love Rashad Penny, but it's like he's just a role player to me too. He's like a change of pace guy. You know what I mean? Like,
Do I need to point out his lone game as the starter before he tore his ACL?
awesome. It was awesome.
Do one for like 3 touchdowns and 140 yards.
Yeah, it was awesome. But I mean, okay, those 140 yards, didn't he have like a 60-yard house call?
True, but he also only had like 15 carries.
Yeah, exactly. So extreme efficiency, you know what I mean? And he did but here's my point too. And Chris Carson was hurt that game. So, you know what I mean? But I'm saying, like, Alex Collins would probably be the best thing they had right now. Like, as far as for what we're accustomed to seeing them do. You know what I mean? Pound the rock between the tackles type of shit. You know what I mean? Physical runner. I'm like, to be honest, if they didn't bring back Chris Carson, I could see Marlon Mack fitting right in there. And he would be dummy cheap.
No, they need a more violent runner.
I mean, he's like the poor man's Chris Carson to me.
No, Marlon Mack is not an in between the tackles runner.
He's a physical guy, though.
He's more Chase Edmonds than he is Chris Carson.
I agree.
You know what?
I see Rashad Penny running through the tackle more, or running between the tackles
Definitely.
way more than Marlon Mack.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, okay, you know what? Maybe the Marlon Mack correlation wasn't good. You know what I mean?
But my version's better.
I really hope they do bring back Chris Carson though, because people disrespect him.
I'm just trying to think.
every
Who are some of the other running backs on the market? Aaron
Leonard
Jones not going to go there. Leonard Fournette could be a good fit there if they don't bring back Chris Carson.
And Leonard Fournette, what is he going to ask for? Like $6 million?
Jamal Williams as an underrated target. I kind of like Jamal Williams as their fit.
Since they're not bringing back Aaron Jones, like I would make a like if I'm Aaron Rodgers,
They're giving
keep Jamal Williams.
They're giving that money to Corey Linsley, in my eyes, and they're bringing him back as a center because they need him. He was that glue guy to that offensive line.
Yeah. But this is why I say Jamal Williams stays in Green Bay too somehow, because he's always been one of the top graded pass protectors. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Like, yeah, bro.
AJ doing work in the playoffs.
No, for sure. But I'm saying though, if you're Aaron Rodgers and you're in hurry up, we've always tell me, wasn't it Jamal Williams a lot of times when they're in hurry up? Because like if you go back to 2017 PFF, he was a top 5 rated pass protector, right? You know what I mean? Granted, he didn't play like majority of the year. Still, though, that carried on into 18 and then into 19 because we've seen a large sample size of him being the guy because Aaron Jones is always hurt. You know what I mean? Like we've seen stretches without Aaron Jones where Jamal Williams just goes ham. I do like you putting Jamal Williams there in Seattle. I like that a lot.
I think he's very underrated.
Yeah. Matter of fact,
I would like him in Arizona. I'll say that. I would like Jamal Williams in Arizona.
I wouldn't mind him in Pittsburgh either.
With what money? With what money?
That's another guy.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem.
Pete Carroll, right? Pete Carroll is one of those guys. He loves like stories. He loves like these guys, like these comeback stories and stuff like that. Like I could see them if not like moving on from Carson and like be like, hey, James Conner, come over here, man. You know what I mean? Like they just Pete Carroll does.
Okay, those two are very similar players.
Yeah,
I've heard James. I've heard way too many.
Better James Conner.
But James Conner's not a bell cow.
He wants to be, but
he's not.
No.
His 1 year of great production was behind one of the best offensive lines in football, and when it fell
hard.
Where's James Conner at?
Yeah,
averaging 3.8 yards per carry.
Damn.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is Le'Veon Bell averaged like 3.7 yards before contact. Do you know what I mean? When that line was that good.
No, he didn't. No, 3.7 is nuts. 3.7 is nuts.
Yeah, okay. This is a career stat with him, his time with the Steelers. So how long was he with the Steelers? 5 years? Yeah, that was his average before contact. But that's a testament to how good that line was. Everyone's gonna look at like his dancing, like patient style of running and shit like that. Bruh, it was crazy. You know what I mean? He's looking it up. He's like, fuck, I need to find this.
Yeah, I think 3.7 is nuts.
It's nuts, bro. That's how good that line was. And then when he held out that year, James Conner slotted right in. Like on a per game basis, he was better than Le'Veon Bell's career per game basis as far as in fantasy that 1 year. But it fell off quick, like you said. Mm-hmm. And like the reason I say him in Seattle because Pete Carroll loves Pete Carroll. He brought in the depth.
Seattle's putting emphasis on the offensive line.
You know what I mean? He brings in the one-handed guy. You know what I mean, to play linebacker. Like he loves these guys, gives these guys a chance. That's why
he had a blind fullback. Derek Coleman was a blind fullback or deaf. He was deaf. He was deaf, not blind.
And what's crazy is because he would have to.
He was blind.
I know, right? Like, especially what is he fucking Daredevil? Where like the sound vibrations
echolocation.
Right, and you're playing with in the loudest stadium, arguably. You know what I mean?
Oh God, yeah.
Like, what is his name? I think his name was Derek something.
Derek Coleman.
Derek Coleman, and like
short time Arizona Cardinal.
He would have to in the huddle. He would be across from the quarterback, so he could read the quarterback's lips like clearly. You know what I mean? And it was like he was great, bro. Like for what it was. Like
he was a Pro Bowler.
You really got to be on your game to not hear anyone coming at you. It's all feeling when it comes to blind sides, like blind spots. Like that's crazy, dude.
It's called drowning out the noise.
Whoa. right?
Whoa.
He lit. That was heavy. He's a left guy. You know what I mean? Like I remember what was the one-handed, bro? The Griffin, the one Griffin twin. What he had-
Shaquem. Yeah,
Yes,
Shaquem Griffin.
And like I remember my boy goes, one of my boys is a Seattle fan. He's like, bro, did you see that one-handed interception by Griffin? I'm like, which one? He's like, the one-handed guy, bro. I'm like, well, duh. You know what I mean? Like he's one-handed, but it was fucking amazing. You know what I mean? Because he's like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like you imagine your technique to tackle a guy too. Like
It's gotta be
really
fucking difficult.
yeah, you really gotta wrap that motherfucker.
Gotta be exquisite.
Right.
Now here's an interesting one I want to talk about tonight too. How can you tag someone that barely fucking plays? Hunter Henry was not tagged, which I'm not surprised by. I mean, can you realistically can you even tag him? He's barely fucking played ever. I mean, he's a freak athlete. Don't get me wrong. He's a freak athlete.
Are people actually upset he wasn't tagged? Because I've seen like small things. I thought they were joking. Are people serious about him not getting tagged?
He's always been one of the more hyped up guys. Like I remember going into 2017, it was like, yo, this second year tight end, bro, he's gonna blow up in fantasy. He's a mid-round value, blah blah. Then he tears the ACL, like in OTAs or something like that. Like
Yep. And he comes back late in the year.
And then that was 28.
Goes crazy.
Goes a little crazy.
And then gets hurt again.
So polarizing to fantasy enthusiasts, right? Like, it's like, oh my God, Hunter Henry. And then,
gets hurt again.
So it's like, when you think about it, like, 2019, he started off the year, got hurt right away, missed like 6 weeks. You know what I mean? And then 2020, he was just an afterthought. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. Like that's just it, dude. Like,
feel me on this, J Love. Zero yak, bro.
None.
Zero yak.
Okay, so
like
let's just look at this. In 4 years, Hunter Henry has never played 16 games. He has his career high was 652 yards, and his rookie year he had 8 touchdowns. Every other year he has not exceeded 5. In no way am I paying that man $9 million on a tag.
Fuck no.
No.
Hell no.
Also thinking Derwin James has to get paid next year. Mike Williams is on a contract year next year.
I'm paying a guy who's been getting hurt. I'm paying Derwin James. Like Derwin James is like
when healthy. Derwin James is the best safety in the league when healthy.
Right. So like it's a guy that's produced while he's been on the field at least. Like granted, Hunter Henry's produced, but like not to the level of making that much. My dog just fucking.
Like a grown ass man.
Yeah, I was about to say, what other man is in your house?
It's kind of like a zombie man.
Yeah, I got a husky. He likes to make a lot of noise.
My boxer is right back there. That little brown splotch.
But seriously, like you can't pay a guy that much money. That's literally when he's on the field. It's like he is literally like you said, Bogart. He's an afterthought. Like
who finds a new place, a new home first? Kyle Rudolph or Hunter Henry?
Kyle Rudolph, I think, already signed or agreed to a contract with the Patriots. I think he agreed to a contract with the Patriots.
Damn, we seen that coming.
I think he already signed.
Wow. Okay. All right. Okay.
My computer will not load.
I know we've talked about this a lot because I just thought of this because we're talking about Kyle Rudolph, but like Irv Smith, bro. I looked at this a little bit, right? So Kyle Rudolph and Irv Smith last year, right, combined for 58 receptions, 699 yards, 6 touchdowns. So if that's
combined,
it's
okay. So
great, right?
Wait, hold up. Irv Smith had to have like 400 yards and like 5 touchdowns.
Yeah,
because he had 5 touchdowns in the last 5
literally
weeks.
Had 5 touchdowns. Yeah, but I'm saying that like that's crazy. And in a year where like Kirk Cousins threw the ball a ton, you know what I mean? So I mean, I know you pointed out on After Dark, you pointed out the fact that Kirk Cousins led the league in what reception.
Yeah. In the past 2 years, he leads the league in red zone tight end targets, red zone tight end efficiency, Basically any statistic going towards a tight end, he leads in, especially in the red zone. So
It's kind of been a career thing for him too, because this goes back to like him as a player, just favoring the tight end, like going all the way back to like Jordan Reed and shit like that.
yeah, Jordan Reed. Who was it? There was another tight end over there who had like
he had
1
Vernon
year.
Davis for a little while. He had Vernon
Was it Jeremy Sprinkle? Was it Jeremy Sprinkle who was there with him? Yeah,
Yes.
Sprinkle was over there. He just gives tight ends names.
I know, right?
Shit. Send him to New England. Maybe he can give Devin Asiasi a year or something like Dalton Keene.
Right. Well, now they got Kyle Rudolph.
Every time I
Kyle
think
Rudolph.
about Jordan Reed, I think about A, how many
Impressions.
times Jordan Reed has burned me in fantasy football, but B, I always think about that SpongeBob episode where it's the guy, he's like, every morning I wake up and I break my legs, and every afternoon I break my arms. He's like, what's he say? My skin is made of paper and my bones are made of glass. Like, that's all I think of Jordan Reed every time.
I'm sorry.
Like,
When I think of Jordan Reed, I just stop thinking because that's what he does.
Because he has no more brain. It's been concussed.
That thing's gone.
He's on instinct alone. He's like a reptile. You know what I mean?
He just goes through the motions, bro.
Yes. Oh shit.
See
bro.
ball, catch ball, go.
I remember when people they started texting me, right? They're like, bro, we signed Jordan Reed. Like all my Niner homies. I'm like, okay.
See you in week 4. He won't be there.
He's good for quarter of the season, so that'll be sweet.
I think you mean the first quarter of the season, as in like 3 minutes.
You know what was crazy is that we actually saw more Jordan Reed than I thought we would because Kittle went down early.
Yeah. And then he went down.
Yeah, and it was. I remember he sustained 2 injuries in one game.
2 big injuries.
2 big injuries.
Big.
I was like, damn, Jordan
it was
Reed
like an
really
ankle.
knows how to get hurt.
It was like an ankle and a hip injury, and I was like, "How,
One catch too. He was
bro? How do you dislocate your ankle and like?
so good at getting injured, bro. He's like, hold
It's
on.
crazy. If
How do
could
you
get
have
paid.
this dude had a 3rd-degree ankle sprain and dislocated his hip or something like that? I was like, how? How?
Listen, bro. He said, and you know what's crazy is that is injury prone by depth. You know, there's guys.
Yes, he is injury prone. If
we've ever had like, you know, people could have said. Remember, there was a time period where Gronk was like injury prone, but it was just
no,
because
he bad situations.
Okay, so he's not injury prone. He was injury riddled. Like Keenan
Yes.
Allen was injury riddled.
No, Keenan Allen was injury prone early on in his career.
So
They were all related.
ACL, he had
Ankles, knees.
the lacerated kidney. You know what I mean? These
That's a freak accident.
shoulder.
Okay, the first ACL, the lacerated kidney, yes, but then he had back issues, then he had ankle issues, then he had knee issues that all stemmed off of that, and then that's what I would classify as injury prone issues.
When I say injury prone, I'm thinking like Julio Jones, like because everything is that foot, and everything's related to that foot and that leg, hamstring.
I don't even think that's injury prone. I just think his foot is dead.
Yeah, I mean he has a track background, right?
Joe Mixon, by definition, is injury prone just because of that one foot. He's hurt that same foot 3 different years in a row.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this much.
I'm still drafting Joe Mixon, by the way.
Me too.
I'm still am.
I'm a Joe Mixon guy, and I feel bad for myself.
And when Joe Mixon plays 12 games, I will start him all 12 games, and then I'll see him in the playoffs when he's on my injury reserve.
I ain't gonna lie. Even at Madden, if I do a franchise, and I do a fantasy draft, I will not take Jordan Reed. He's got a great overall in Madden, but at the same time, in my head, all I got is this motherfucker gonna be hurt most of the season anyway. So,
right?
I wouldn't even take him in Madden, dog.
I don't hate it.
What? Okay, so
you're scrolling through the free agents. Jordan Reed, not worth the $4 million.
Exactly.
Kenny Golladay. Where are we putting Kenny Golladay? Like, is there any way we can get him to Arizona? I mean, you know the ins and outs of your cap situation.
Miami. No, Arizona could do it. That would be all of their cap space, and that's way. I think that this Arizona needs a wide receiver 2 thing is blown way out of proportion.
I like Christian Kirk.
Christian Kirk hasn't necessarily produced like a wide receiver 2, but again, the first 8 weeks of the season, I'm going to point out. So that's when Arizona's like they were firing on all cylinders, best offense in the league. Christian Kirk had 500 of his 670 receiving yards in the first eight weeks, and all of his touchdowns. He had 8 touchdowns by week 8. He had 500 receiving yards. He was the legitimate wide receiver too. He was on track for 1,000 yards and like 15 touchdowns.
I remember trading for him.
Then he got hurt.
All year.
I think then he had COVID protocols, if I'm not mistaken. Missed 2 weeks.
He also had like a groin.
Had a groin injury.
Yeah.
He just has. He's not injury prone by any means. He just has little injuries. Like I know he fractured a small bone in his foot his rookie year.
Yeah,
and he's had an ankle. It's just small things like that. I think he can be a wide receiver too. I think a wide receiver 3 is more interesting for Arizona, just like depth guy.
This is his 3rd year now. 18, 19, 20. It's gonna be his 4th season. Okay. Yeah, I hope he gets it together because he's always one of the like last year. I loved him and Tyler Boyd. Like I was getting.
I'm drafting Christian Kirk. Okay, so yeah, he had 48 catches, 620 yards, and 6 touchdowns. All 6 of those touchdowns came in the first 7 weeks because they were on bye week 8, and 500 of his receiving yards. So he only had like 90 receiving yards in the last.
What was it? It was that Monday Nighter Cowboys game. I think he went crazy. He
had an 80-yard touchdown.
Yeah. Okay, so that was it. That's right. And Isabella had the other big one, right? That night.
He had like a 50-yard catch down the seam. But no, I
was thinking.
They went that whole game was just great. Christian Kirk, Kenyon Drake broke like a 60-yard run as well for a touchdown.
Oh yeah, just to kill him even more at the
end of the game. And you know what's funny? I was watching that game like I need 0.2 fantasy points. 0.2 fantasy points. Literally, I'm sitting in because Robbie's live streaming the game. I'm watching with my dad. I get off of work. I'm like, please, just give me 0.2. This man just breaks off a 66-yard touchdown. I'm like, all right, I won. I won that game pretty easily. Those are 15 points.
Pretty easily. It went all the way down to Monday night.
Yeah.
Like seconds to spare.
Oh, right. Dude, like a minute left in the game. I was like, don't need it. Don't need it.
Right. Oh, shit.
I thought
I remember losing.
I had Christian Kirk on my bench like most of the season.
Me too.
And I really thought he was going to.
Your whole lineup was awesome. You talking about the Office League?
Yes. Your lineup was amazing.
His lineup
had T. Higgins stashed since week 1. Just starts going off. All right, I'll flex you. Like,
bro, and then he drafted Herbert too. Like,
yes.
He like you know.
Oh yeah, I did, dude. Bro. I just looked at all I looked at. I was like, I mean, Herbert's gonna be starting eventually. I'm gonna throw him in there.
No, because you know what made me mad? I was looking at. I was like, I'm gonna take Tua or Justin Herbert, and I was like, Tua will probably start before Justin Herbert. He has to. And then week 2 hit.
And they shanked Tyrod Taylor.
Dude, Tyrod Taylor is the stepping stone to being a starting quarterback. It's proven in his career, so that's why I took.
Nathan Peterman will beg to differ.
Hey, when you're drafted in the first round, when you're drafted in the first round, at least.
I fucking love Nathan Peterman. God damn it, I want him on the show. I fucking love Nathan Peterman so much, dude. I love him so much. I'm going to reach out to him.
Can I ask why?
Sure. So for people that frequently listen to my show, they know. But I love Nathan Peterman because when the Bills drafted him, they were super adamant, right? Like, Nate Pete, that's our guy. Nate Pete, he's going to be the future. And I was like, I mean, I guess I could maybe see it. It was a coin flip, right?
Now your dog sounds like a grown woman crying.
Yeah, I know. I can hear him.
Your dog does human impersonations, right?
But when Nate Pete comes in for his first game, he throws fucking 4 picks right away.
Yeah.
I die laughing. I'm like, this is fucking hysterical, dude, because he's not even close. Then pretty soon,
that game was awesome, bro.
Right.
Bro, I think everybody went back and watched the highlights of that, the lowlights of that game,
dude. I think he's hilarious.
They're like, no, you know what? He's on fire, bro.
I just think he's so funny because the Bills thought he was like their guy, and then like they take him, and I was like, I don't know. Like it's a coin flip in my opinion. And then
So,
then he
that
comes
was
out and just
2017. So that was, dude. I remember 2017. There was another game where like they had a winning record at the time, and they're
And
like,
they
you know
played
what?
him.
We're gonna see what we have with Nathan Peterman. They put him against the Chargers, and then it was another one of those like 3-4 pick games or some bullshit. But like, bro, he forever was stitched in my mind. Like, okay, this guy, you stream defenses against him, bro. I remember.
Okay.
2018. Hold on, real quick.
I want you to
Bills
guess
get
his,
in there. Oh yeah,
I
go
want you
ahead.
to guess his career touchdown to interception ratio.
his career touch or his career. Oh my god, I usually
His
know that.
his
Sixes,
career
touchdowns.
touchdown to interception ratio.
So he has. I want to say it's in the negatives. Is that possible?
Oh, definitely. It's okay. No, it would be a ratio, so it would be like blank to blank.
Oh, so it would be like for every 2 passes he throws 2 picks. I mean, like,
No, it's 3 to 12. So it's for every 1 touchdown he throws 4 picks.
4 picks.
Hey, that's fucking stellar.
That's elite right there.
If you're gonna, it's elite bad. It's like if you're gonna be bad, be the best at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
bro,
He's my favorite. I love him. I want
Jameis Winston
man.
want to be. You know what I mean?
I want the Nate Pete Bills jersey. I want the Nate Pete Oakland Raiders
jersey.
and then on top of it, when he becomes a free agent, I want a white shirt that just says free agent on the front and then Peterman on the back. That's what I want. I love Nathan Peterman. He's my favorite quarterback. When he came in against the Houston Texans a couple years ago,
I was gonna bring that up.
oh my god, dude, he came in.
He
He
comes
came in. I was like, "Oh shit, Peterman's in!" I lost my mind, dude. I was hyped. He comes,
first pass.
and then he throws a tutty, and I was like, "Whoa, Nate Pete's out here." Then he
That's
throws
right,
a pick
the
to end the
Bills got
game.
a turnover. The Bills got a turnover, got him in the red zone. He throws a touchdown pass, and you're like, "Oh, okay, all right, Nate." He
out
wasn't
here
done yet, though. He threw another pick. Like,
to lose the game, too.
really, he could have been the hero. He was like, bro, like,
You know he's only 26.
damn, that poor guy.
And he's that bad.
It sucks because he doesn't even have backup isms in him. Like, he can't be like, no one's gonna
No,
be
that
looking at
man can't even be on a roster.
Dude, he balled out for in a preseason game. He balled out for the Raiders, but then he got hurt on a run. Like it's just he can't win. Dude.
When you can't even be the backup to the backup, you know it's rough. Because the Raiders always keep 3 QBs. So when you can't even back up Marcus Mariota, oh god.
Dang, Nathan Peterman, he does fall in the category to me with like the EJ Manuels, the AJ, what was his name? McCarron? What was his name?
Both ironic. Both of those other 2 quarterbacks you named were Bills at one point.
Exactly. Yeah, they were, huh? Like, the Bills really know how to. It's like it's equivalent to the Broncos. They used to love their 6'7" QBs.
Bro,
like,
Paxton Lynch.
Freaking who was the other guy after him? Brock Osweiler. Like
Trevor Siemian.
Well, Simeon, what was he like 6'5", something like that?
No, Simeon was smaller. I think he was like 6'3".
Okay.
Yeah, dude, ease up on Paxton Lynch. Okay, he's on the squad a little bit. So, right. Dude, I saw a funny ass video. It was during the season. Nathan Peterman turns to Gruden and he goes to fucking give him a high five, and Gruden ignores him. And it's a damn Nathan Peterman can't even complete a high five.
Damn, they killed him, man.
Oh no!
He was the hell out of those pick sixes.
Had to do my man's like that.
Starting every defense against him.
Always.
So fucking something that I want to talk about too. Bud Dupree was not tagged.
You couldn't. With what money?
Yeah,
no,
really can't.
19 mil for a tag coming off of an ACL tear. No.
Yeah.
I agree. I also think Bud Dupree was a huge letdown for me because, in my opinion, he never produced like what he should have.
he never got. I don't think he got sack totals this past year, but he put a ton of pressures this past year. And
He
pressures
did.
pressures for me are more important than sacks.
We did see the drop in pressures when Bud Dupree was out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like,
agreed. But this was the first season you saw him produce that way.
I know, because before this year he was a cleanup guy. Which was why everybody was like, "Whoa, his sacks are going down." Okay, he's becoming way more efficient because his pressures are going up. And then the ACL tear happened, and then the Steelers showed everybody that they were pretenders. No offense, but
this guy comes on here and
not
just
so subtle. You know what? Watch
yeah.
the Steelers get Hassan Reddick somehow. He's like,
Hey, just rip my heart right out of my chest. Go ahead. But nah.
no.
I'm already preparing for Reddick to leave.
We don't need anything. I don't want to see us grab anyone except for a fucking quarterback that can actually play.
It's free. Like, okay, it's free agency. We thought this was going to be like the most crazy massacre of cuts and stuff like that. It's kind of been
still going to be.
Okay.
It's going to be because free. I'm sorry, but the next 7 days is what's going to be the bad part. You're going to see guys getting cut left and right. I don't know why Arizona hasn't cut Robert Alford yet, but that man has a $9 million cap hit, and you clear $7.5 million by cutting. Cut that man, please. Just make cuts that are that simple, and they're going to happen over the next 7 days. It's just everybody was focusing on these like franchise tags right now and transition tags, which we didn't see one of them used. Yeah, first year in a while we haven't seen a transition.
I was going to say, this was I didn't hear nothing about no transition tags this year. That is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not too many.
It's because the only difference between a transition tag and a franchise tag is you take less money.
Yeah.
So players, of course, they're not going to sign a transition tag if they can get a franchise tag. The last player I can think of that was notable that got a transition tag was Kenyon Drake. He got it from Arizona, but that was it.
Oh, so he didn't get a full franchise tag.
No, he got a transition.
Oh shit!
Which is why Arizona still had some leeway last year on their cap.
Okay. Also, I remember Blake F. He wanted to ask you this, but I just remembered it. But like, the JJ Watt thing. I mean, I know I've heard your thoughts before, but like, do you think JJ Watt signing is a direct correlation with them not giving Reddick, a bag?
Yes.
If you were that GM, are you making that move or are you paying Reddick?
I'm doing both because I've already said numerous times that Reddick should have gotten tagged. Okay. No, I would keep. They're completely different players.
You did say that.
JJ Watt is an interior defensive lineman who can play on the outside in sparing situations. And a 3-4, he's going to play as a 3 tech. He's going to be a 3-4 defensive end. And a 3-4, Hassan Reddick is a 3-4 outside linebacker.
Are they switching their entire scheme just for JJ?
No, he can play a 3-4 end. I think Zach Allen, who had a ton of upside coming out of Boston College, is going to learn way, way too much from JJ Watt. So right now, this will be the Cardinals' front seven. It's going to be JJ Watt. It's going to be Jordan Phillips as the nose, Zach Allen as the other end, which is a formidable defensive line because any line with JJ Watt is formidable. Yeah. Upside with Zach Allen there because Jordan Phillips is just a 350-pound nose. Then you have Chandler Jones coming back, Isaiah Simmons, and Jordan Hicks, which is that three alone is a amazing linebacking core. And then if you bring Hassan Reddick back, welcome the best linebacking core in the NFL as a 3-4, in my eyes at least. If you're rocking a 3-4, you have two amazing edge rushers. Isaiah Simmons is upside, and Jordan Hicks, my bad, has been a Pro Bowl snub the past 2 years in my eyes.
So he's angry. You know what I'm saying? He's playing angry. Damn. So that 3-4 scheme, bro, them
fits.
4 running backs, them 4 linebackers, God damn.
And then on top of that,
I don't like it.
You can bring back Dennis Gardeck had 7 sacks last year in a 3 or 4 game stretch. He was playing amazing. Then he tore his ACL. They traded for Marcus Golden, who wants to come back to Arizona because he's always been an Arizona Cardinal at heart, apparently, even though he played in New York for years. So again, well, no, he literally requested a trade to Arizona, which was weird. But yeah, he wants to come back to Arizona. So I think right now it makes sense not to bring back Hassan Reddick on a tag, but I think it's very, very likely he leaves just because he's going to get money. And Arizona, doesn't have a good amount of money, but then again, they're also not broke like a lot of other teams in this situation.
Yeah, and bro, I'm trying to figure out where he would be a good fit.
The Jets, I think that Robert Saleh would love him.
The Jets need everyone, dude.
Yeah,
Well,
they need
just in that Leo defense, he can roam, he can drop in coverage. He was a safety in a corner when he was recruited to Temple. He was a corner.
And Saleh likes those. He likes those, the multifaceted guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like watching him twice a year. You know what I mean? Like he's very aware of them. I could see that. That's a great call.
Just thinking of
I was
other
gonna
spots.
say even the Broncos. I think he would be great with the Broncos, like Vic Fangio.
If they don't bring back Von Miller, I like that.
Yeah, and I don't think they'll bring him back.
No, that's a $20 million cap hit that they can't take.
Oh, okay. So
Charges would drop though, so that's cool.
Yeah, that's true. Still might be a suspension though, because that's still a violation of player conduct.
Yeah,
like they could, you know what I mean? They could still hit him with that. I mean, look at what they did.
By the way, greatest lawyer ever. Oh, right up there with O.J. Simpson's lawyer. Greatest lawyer ever.
Straight just got you off of murder.
This man literally had photo evidence of some of the worst text messages I've ever seen, and he got off with nothing.
Dang. I'm gonna be honest. Text messaging is crazy when you're angry. It's probably the worst thing to do. But also, when you're with when you're a crazy female, which they are out there, I'm not saying she was, but like she could have provoked that and then been like, "I'm gonna ruin your career."
They are out of context. We don't know the whole story.
You know what I mean?
Which is probably has a lot to do with it. But either way, even if he wasn't on this, he's a 31-year-old coming off of
a supposed to be better than that anyway, though.
He's a 31-year-old edge rusher past his prime with a $20 million cap hit on a team option, which they would incur no dead money, coming off of a massive injury. Forget anything else. He just isn't in their plans moving forward. He just can't be. I know he's a Broncos legend, has one of the most prolific starts to a career in NFL history as an outside linebacker.
And it's sad.
So what?
He went crazy that year and tore his ACL, right? And then so he didn't see the Super Bowl that year.
No, he was the Super Bowl MVP.
No, I'm talking about the first time around they got to the Super Bowl with Peyton Manning.
Yeah, you're right. He didn't play in that game.
He didn't play in that game because he had tore his ACL that year. And like it was just crazy because that's just one of those stories that sticks with you. You know what I mean? Like he didn't get a chance to play in the Super Bowl, and he's like, "Yo, if I get back there, I'm gonna kill it." And he boom, Super Bowl MVP. You know what I mean? Like
two forced fumbled sacks.
Yeah, bro. Cam Newton hates that guy for sure. Like he clowned it, bro. Like, man. Okay.
This is actually important. The salary cap is almost certainly going to be 182.5. It's almost set. So the salary cap still hasn't been set. It's almost certainly going to be
189, right? It's dropping down from 189 or 193, something like that.
No. So most teams were planning on it being 175, and then there was a note sent out to everybody saying it's at minimum going to be 180, and now it's going to be 182. The cap to start was going to be, I believe, 205.
Yeah,
before COVID, and then now most trusted like cap websites were at 190, and now apparently it's going to be set at 182. So,
oh wow, how? So, I was just pointing this out earlier. Like, they're going to get a fuck ton of money because of this additional 17th week, right? Because that also you're basically adding 2 weeks. Because we're already in the 18-week season technically, right? So now we're going into a 17-week season already. I should say, because 16 weeks with a bye week, right? So now we're gonna go into 18 weeks. I think after one more year, we see the cap go back to normal because they're that extra.
Yeah, this extra game.
Yeah. It gives them loads of money. You know what I mean? Like the league, like
it's a lot more broadcasting rights.
For sure. And those contracts, those are like, whoa. And a lot of this is to like compensate, like they compensate or they recoup a lot of their losses from audiences and concessions, etc. Right? They're recouping that and more with this extra game. You know what I mean? So
I think the losses on that has been blown out of proportion because your operating costs went down. You're not
It did. It did.
your
It did
vendors,
go down.
your vendors and everything like that. All the electricity, all that went down. So
Mm,
that's been blown way out of proportion.
good point. Damn, so these billionaires are just that shady. They're like,
Yeah, everybody's mentioning like, oh no, like fan ticket sales and everything, like parking. Another thing that people aren't bringing up that loses them money, but they're also saving a lot of money because then they're not paying people to come in and work.
True.
It opportunity cost. It's a trade off.
You're not paid in the orange, Vas.
trickle
No, you're
down.
not.
effect. Damn, this is so okay. Now, this how I want to ask you this because I've thought of this, but I want to get your guys' opinion. What's the fantasy season going to look like with 17 weeks? So we go to week 14 instead of 13 as the regular season, then everything else is
I think this gets rid of 2-week playoffs. In my eyes, almost certainly, and thank God, because 2-week
That's so
playoff
stupid.
leagues suck.
Yes. Agreed.
that shit is
so,
whack.
I hate 2-week playoffs. Like honestly, I mean, my home league has always done that, and I'm like, no, can we
Because
stop?
and your home is
please?
ESPN, right?
Yes, and it
Yeah, because
sucks,
ESPN, that was their default for years. That it was set up like that.
bro. My
Yep.
home league is an ESPN league. It's 2-week playoffs. They have a veto system.
Oh man,
Jesus.
I hate the veto system.
Literally just 2 years ago, I convinced them to go from standard to PPR, and I had to convince
Oh
them.
my God. Took convincing.
Yes,
Yeah. You know what's crazy? I remember my standard
I want to leave so bad.
my standard league strategy was always just stack hella running backs and then all my receivers. I never had no early round receivers. They were all like, the Robbie Andersons, John Brown with the Cardinals. Like it was like, all these field stretcher guys. Like I just need one
Smoky.
catch for them. Yeah, I just need one catch. I'm good. Give me
Yeah.
a fucking 70-yarder real quick. You know what I mean? Get my 7 points going on. Like never touching a Julian Edelman.
Yeah, John Brown until Carson Palmer got hurt. Then
Oh,
I'm gonna cut him real quick.
Bro, I used to love my man, the Skeletor too. JJ Nelson, bro. He used to
Man,
eat.
that's
bro.
a name.
He used to eat, bro. He was the string bean before the string bean. Like he was Skeletor. That was his nickname because that was a skinny motherfucker, bro. Out there just fast as fuck. You know what I mean?
Man.
Like he was awesome.
Man, now you got my name going down this rabbit hole like all older Cardinals receivers.
Oh,
Man.
you know who I loved? Michael Floyd was a boy, bro.
Till he got a DUI.
Yeah, bro.
And then another DUI.
Can't be
And then
driving
another
drink.
DUI. And then another DUI.
I remember one of the DUIs he got to, one of the second ones, or it wasn't the first one, right? It was definitely after the first one. He got one being
He's had like
drunk,
6.
he was like sitting in the car. I think he had a few like that, right? Sitting
two
in the
like
car
that.
when
He had
like,
2
passed
back to
out
back.
at a light.
He had 2 back to back.
Some Le'Veon Bell shit. Fucking
What-
sit.
Wasn't one of them too? He went to like because I think he came from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he went to like go watch a Notre Dame football game and he just got faded. You know what I mean? And
Hey, they're called the
Bro.
Irish for a reason.
I know, right? Bro,
So,
Michael Floyd. Hold on. There's other guys. I still think though, too, man, I hated this guy and I loved him so much because I hated him. Fucking Anquan Bolden was the shit, bro.
oh, God.
Young
Yeah.
Anquan, like
Anquan was a dog, dude.
he's
one of the most underrated receivers ever.
Agreed.
Easily.
he played dominant. Like even like at one point in his career, being when he was older, it was like, yeah, I'll play in the slot. And it was like, oh my god, he's a beast out of the slot. Like you know what I mean?
Bro, that dude was easily like an ascending top wide receiver ever. And it was like, oh, Larry Fitzgerald's gonna come in? Cool. I can work with that.
Yeah,
Like those two just ran together and it was just like, oh, okay.
like it really sucked. They were so good with shit quarterbacks for so long. Like
right. Like
even
Matt
Kurt
Leinart
Warner-
was there.
oh my god,
Dog, no. Forget Matt Leinart. Kevin Cobb, bro.
oh yeah, he was trash.
John Skelton.
Oh shit, dude. You know what's crazy?
John. No, okay, stop. I was 10 years old
was gonna
rooting
say,
for rooting for John Skelton to start when you want John Skelton to be your starting quarterback.
Hey, who was the guy that was in front of Warner before Warner beat him out?
Oh,
That guy.
This is just before I started watching football.
There was hella hype on him. I remember, and it was just like, nope, Kurt Warner, get in there. You know what I mean? They're like, bro, I forget this guy's name, bro.
That wasn't Matt Leinart, was it?
Damn, dude.
I'm thinking Matt Leinart was there before Kurt Warner.
No, he definitely
was. That Derek? I think that was Derek Anderson, actually.
Oh no, you're right. It was Anderson.
It was Derek Anderson. Yeah,
that's right. Because Derek Anderson, because he became a backup after.
That was the year he sounded off in that presser, and he went nuts.
Oh yeah, he went ham. That's right. He was upset about a lot of shit. Damn, I'd be forgetting how old you are, J Love, because you're like wise with your wisdom, right? Yeah. But damn, you were young back then.
That's just before I started watching football.
I was 8 or 9 years old. 5. Damn.
I was a youth. And no, that's 2007, bro.
Yeah, that's right. 2007. Yeah.
Warner came in 07. This was 06. I was 4.
Yeah. When he got them to the Super Bowl, that was the 2009 season.
That was 08.
Oh, yeah, 2009 January was February was the Super Bowl. Yeah, you're right. It was the 08 season. Damn, that's crazy. I remember that was I had a townhouse at the time. I was living with my mans, and I was trolling everyone. I took everyone's bet. I bet on the I took the Steelers. You know what I mean? And it was Daryl, that was a sweat. That was a sweat.
What are you talking about? Super Bowl?
Yeah, the Super Bowl, the Steelers Cardinals.
Dude, that Super Bowl, I remember. I was
I'd say top 3 to me.
I was so butthurt until I was pretty young when that Super Bowl happened. I remember because my dad's a huge Steelers fan. I remember watching that Super Bowl. I got so pissed off. I went to my parents' bedroom instead of watching the game in the living room with my dad. I was in my head, I'm like, man, fuck this. I'm done with this shit. I went to my parents' bedroom, and that touchdown happened with Santonio Holmes.
Yeah.
I hit a dead sprint down the hallway. I got to the living room. I was like, ah! I freaked out.
Hey, if I was your dad, I would have been like, go back in the other room. I'm that superstitious. I'm that superstitious. Listen, hold on. As soon as you left, we started winning, bro. You know what I mean? Go back over there, son.
Go.
Is it bad? I genuinely want Larry Fitzgerald to come back because I think the Cardinals have a chance of competing for a ring this year.
You know,
I don't think that they're going to win. I think they have a chance to compete.
I think they have a chance, bro. I mean, think about this.
I think it's limited just because Kingsbury sucks as a play caller.
Yeah, I mean,
his situational awareness is among the worst in the NFL. That man iced his own kicker and lost us the game.
I remember
that man iced his own kicker.
No, I remember there was you guys were on the 1 yard, right? And then
you can point out 25 different plays from this last year.
It was a 1 yard. They were on the 1 yard, and they call a run play. But I think he was I want to say he was in shotgun, and he hands the ball up to him. And when essentially you hand the ball to him, you're now you're back on the 5. And then he gets tackled for a loss. And it's damn, that was stupid. You know what I mean? I remember being a Kenyon Drake guy, hella man. What the fuck are they doing, dude? The play calling was ass, dude. And you know what? I think really it's the red zone, especially his red zone. His red zone offense is so bad. The first year, it was all about Gonzalez, the kicker. Remember that? It was
that dude sucked. That dude sucks. I'm so glad he's cut. He needs to be gone.
Kyler Murray's rookie year. That
Gonzalez was a good kicker. He
because they did nothing in the red zone. They're kicking the field.
And then he realized he's just going to go back to his Browns ways because whenever you put trust in Zane Gonzalez, he becomes Zane Gonzalez.
Hell of a name though.
By the way, Screw you, Zane Gonzalez. You cost me many happy moments this past year.
Wait,
Um,
one thing I do want to point out, if we're we brought up kickers, can we just talk about how Roberto Aguayo was drafted 47th overall by the Buccaneers?
Bro, oh my god.
Worth it.
And then was cut the year after he was drafted.
And like,
That man, bro.
where's he? He's with the Colts now.
No, that man's way out of the league.
Yeah.
Oh,
man's
never
bad.
mind. My bad. I thought we were talking about my man Goggles, bro.
No, Blankenship was
Blankenship's heat, boy.
Yeah,
He was like a what?
he's
Drafted?
awesome.
Yo, Bulldog alum.
Yeah, he was a rookie this year.
By the way, one of the only good kickers to come from a Power 5 conference or a top recruiting school. Because I don't know why. If you ever find a good kicker, they go to sucky schools.
I
It's all in
mean,
the goggles.
yeah. I was also gonna say maybe these sucky offenses, these sucky schools that can't score touchdowns.
Why can't Oklahoma get Justin Tucker? No, it has to be Wichita State. Where did he go to school?
Tucker went
No.
to
It was
Texas.
some. No, he didn't. He didn't go to Texas. I don't think.
I know I have zero knowledge of kicker schools and stuff like that. And then even the fact that you said a lot of these kickers come out of smaller schools. There's a
Yeah. Justin Tucker went to University of Texas.
like you
At
think
Austin.
about
Yeah.
it's a small school.
Texas.
Yes, small. It's not the
That's what I
Texas.
said.
Okay, so
Longhorns. No, I'm just kidding.
when we think Notre Dame, right? When we think Notre Dame, they're an offensive lineman factory, right?
Yeah.
Right. But then you have Mike McGlinchey. You know what I mean? You're like, all right, okay, well,
He's good. Mike McGlinchey's
he's
good.
the rule. He kind of breaks the rule, though. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't.
They okay.
He came from Notre Dame.
They
Made him
produce
today.
they produce great interior offensive linemen. Their tackles are a little shaky.
I'll give you that because Quentin Nelson and I'm trying to think. There's a few other guys, interior guys.
There's a lot of dudes.
Yeah. Okay. How about this? Since while we're on this hype, so what is Alabama like linebacker? What do you think Alabama is?
Defensive line
Defensive
Yeah.
line. Okay.
gotta be.
What about Ohio? Pass rush in this past couple of years.
Yeah. Edge rushers, corner.
Edge rushers.
They produced a lot of corners.
Corners.
Okay,
I think more corners than edge rushers.
Yeah, no, definitely corners. They have like 4 coming out this year that are definitely going to be drafted. Shout out Eric Stokes for potentially running a 4.25.
How do we feel? Just going back to Alabama, like, is the jury still out on like how these Alabama quarterbacks transition to the league? I mean, right now we
Bro,
have
Mac Jones being projected as a top 10 pick blows my mind.
I agree.
I'm mad at that because I think Mac Jones could be a great value, just not a fucking like that's overdrafted.
Bro, he's. I don't have a first round grade on Mac Jones. I have a
think
second
he has
round
a
grade,
second-round grade, yeah.
but I think he goes in the first. I would like.
It's a fucking hype, dude. It's the Alabama hype.
But here's the thing though, out of all the
Bears.
played in the NFL style.
Bears. I know it's lazy, but the Bears. I would like.
I like
Even
the Bears.
no matter what offense he played in, like what has Alabama produced quarterback wise that makes you be like, yeah.
Okay,
like,
in that same breath, then Justin Fields.
Yeah, because he's coming out of Ohio. You're right. Like,
And Justin Fields. Justin Fields is my
Ohio-
QB1. Justin Fields is my QB1 this year.
so that's
I would
just
say that.
okay. How about this? Trey Lance. I think he has the biggest arm, and like you know what I mean. Like
No,
when you-
Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson easily has
Wilson?
the biggest arm in this
Okay,
class.
how about this? Then? Okay, I like that you said that because I was going to ask you if you agreed. So more so, can we say Trey Lance? He has like
He has
Trey
the
Lance,
highest ceiling. He has the highest
he has-
ceiling.
Pittsburgh.
yeah, because like I feel like he could throw it with like Patrick Mahomes and like and like Josh
think-
Allen and the crazy arm angles. And,
This
you
is
know what I mean?
this is the way I would put it. Mac Jones has the highest potential to be a game manager, like a high-end game manager. Trey Lance has the highest potential, like the highest ceiling. I think that Zach Wilson has the best arm. Trevor Lawrence probably has the highest floor, and I think Justin Fields is the most well-rounded because he's probably the best athlete out of all of them, has the second or third best arm, understands defenses, processes them pretty fast. Justin Fields' biggest issue is he kind of stays on the same read too long. That's it. That's just one issue. And then he goes to Ohio State because if he goes to Clemson, like Trevor Lawrence, you're looking at him as the surefire number 1 pick. But everybody wants to go Ohio State QB.
Trevor Lawrence, right? Because I'm such a DJ Chark truther.
He doesn't trust his arm. Trevor Lawrence doesn't trust his arm. If a game's close, he runs the ball. So I don't like any receiver there in the fourth quarter.
What did he have, like 8 rushing touchdowns last year in the red zone?
I don't care. Whenever the brights are the lightest, that dude shuts down with his arm. He refuses to throw the ball in the fourth quarter of a close game. And whenever he's playing from behind, which he's going to do a lot in Duval County.
Quality to have to going into the NFL.
Whenever he's playing from behind, which he's going to do a lot in Duval County, he doesn't throw the ball. He runs.
Duval.
Need I remind you, he played at Clemson with 5-star offensive line, with 5-star receivers, with probably the best running back prospect in a while in Travis Etienne.
Yeah.
This guy had everything around him and still didn't trust his receivers and his own arm in a fourth quarter and shut down in games where he played from behind.
In this dynasty draft coming up, right? For a rookie draft, like, this is it's not a startup draft. You know what I'm saying? I got the second pick overall. My quarterbacks are Joe Burrow. I for some crazy odd reason I had James.
What's the layout of the league? Is it 2 QB? Is it 2 QB?
1 QB.
1 QB
right?
super flex?
It's not a super flex. We have 3 flexes though, like regular flexes.
So you don't have 1 super flex spot?
No, it's single QB, right?
Interesting.
Single QB,
Yeah.
right?
Weird layout.
No defense, 2 receivers, 2 running backs, 1 tight end, 3 flex. Right?
And you can't flex not a single quarterback.
You can't flex a quarterback.
Okay, so you're not drafting a quarterback.
I'm not looking at quarterback.
102.
No. My receivers are kind of wounded. My running
Jamar
back
Chase.
Yeah, so I'm thinking Jamar Chase, but I'm
trade
also
back.
I also, depending where Najee Harris lands, like I don't know, like this is why I bring this up. I need you to talk to me off this. Like, if a Najee Harris,
Najee Harris is going to be the guy that gets all the hype and is going to start going 101 over Trevor Lawrence. Because I know Trevor Lawrence is like almost deadlocked 101 in both dynasty drafts and like mock drafts for the NFL. But if Najee Harris goes to the Falcons in the second round, everybody's going to be drooling over that. No, I want Najee Harris. Take a 101.
Because they're going to be like, Arthur Smith was with Derrick Henry back in Tennessee.
Derrick Henry. I hate that comp.
It's also that line. The line is not going to be. I mean, I really want.
The line has some potential. The line has some potential.
All first rounders. I mean, they're going to lose Alex Mack to free agency. I'm assuming.
Yo, speaking of, you know what his first name is? It's not Alex. It's Javon.
What?
How's it get Alex?
I don't know.
Is that his middle name?
My guy is the whitest dude you'll ever meet. My first name is Javon.
Javon. I got a lot of questions. Javon.
If I read Javon Mack, that sounds like a rapper that I would listen to.
I'm sorry. If you read Javon, I'm sorry. If I'm a teacher, if I'm a teacher, I'm going through the attendance. Javon.
You're looking around in the clouds. Javon.
A white dude raises his hand. That's me. Who's the real Javon? I'm sorry. No, that is not you.
She said, is Javon Mack here? Yeah, that's me. Alex Mack.
Alex Mack. Hey, I don't know if you guys are too young for this, but there was a show called Alex Mack on Nickelodeon. She was like a superhero chick, right?
I'm too young.
Yes, for sure. This is like before you were born, for sure, J-Lo. But Alex Mack, I see my Niners getting him. I mean, our center's not the greatest.
With what money?
I think he'd be for cheap, bro. I don't think.
No, he was a Pro Bowler 2 years ago. No.
Yeah, but still, bro.
And centers are low key expensive.
They are low key expensive.
Low key, but high key. If you're
I know. If you're
tuned into it,
bro. Corey Linsley's gonna get double digits. Corey Linsley's gonna get 11 to 12 mil.
You know why though? Aaron Rodgers would come down and vouch for that too. He'd be like, "Yo, you got to pay this guy."
Fuck Aaron Rodgers.
My dad calls him Sharon Rodgers. I swear on everything. My dad calls him Sharon Rodgers because all he does is whine.
That's funny.
Fucking last thing I wanted to talk about here. Jonnu Smith is going to be a free agent.
Come to Arizona.
I would hate so bad if he
Come
goes.
to Arizona.
Hey, I mean, shit. You could even argue the Seahawks too. I mean, they be fooling around with all these fucking, Walt Disneys and like I could see that. But you know what? I'm gonna go crazy.
Disleys.
That's fucking wild
right?
that you said that.
Right? Like
Will Disley, now Walt Disley.
Listen, that's my nickname for him though.
Yeah, like Walt Disney. I got
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. No, we caught it.
I can see my
Fucking
man Jonnu.
Bogardisms.
Maybe Jonnu goes to the Jets. You know what I mean? I mean, it's if Mike LaFleur is bringing if he's bringing that Shanahan offense, they're gonna utilize a move tight end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got a lot of money.
Once again, though, the Jets need everyone.
And they have the money for everyone.
Name a player we talked about tonight that the Jets wouldn't fucking need.
Got me there.
Yeah, right, exactly.
They're gonna Dupree, Hassan.
Frank Gore.
Don't they already got him?
Yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't sign him back. You're right.
That's why they don't need him. They already have him.
Oh shit, bro! Everybody's going there, bro.
No, but yeah.
Jets about
honestly.
to ball
All
out.
these free agents are going to the Jets, bro.
They have like what? They have what, like 57 mil in free agency? Or something like that?
They're bringing over.
Wait, hold up. Speaking of the Jets, did you guys see Marcus May got tagged and hates it? Like he's literally like demanding a trade.
Yeah.
Bro, I was seeing like Niners rumors for a while there, like looking at him, but I was like, how the fuck are we gonna do that? This guy's gonna want to go somewhere and get paid. Listen, you got franchise tag. And I think that's the in all likelihood that's Robert Saleh. Like, now let's tag this guy. You know what I mean?
Dude.
No, that's a new system, new scheme. I don't know how he's gonna fit, but he's a good player, so let's keep him.
Okay, throwing him a bone, I guess.
You know what's infuriating? I was at work when that tweet was put out. I saw Schefter tweet out because that's how I get updates during work is fucking Schefter tweeting. He wrote the show.
Yeah, that's your boy.
Yeah, close friend of the show.
If only if he'll like show up to our shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Like I send him links every week. But like I saw it, and the first thing I said is I was like, "Oh shit, Marcus May got tagged," and the guys at work were like, "Who's Marcus May?" I was like,
"Oh no,
this is exactly why I'm in the wrong goddamn business right here." Like, you don't even know who Marcus May. God damn.
Oh, Marcus May is a baller.
Yeah,
he is.
That dude single-handedly took over Jamal Adams' spot, and honest to God, looked better than him. I know it's a bold statement, but he looked better than him.
Listen, like him getting franchise tag, I know he's upset, right?
Well, because he just wants a long-term. He was an older rookie. He was 24 coming out of college. He's 28 right now on his second contract. If you franchise tag him, he's 29. Everybody's looking like, I don't want to pay this dude a 4-year deal. Give him a contract.
Yeah, dang, he was old coming out of college. You're right.
24, right? Yeah.
That's crazy.
He was a redshirt senior coming out. So yeah, he played 5 years in college. Yeah, that's definitely gonna be old coming out.
Speaking of cuts, bro, I am personally excited to see like the Niners just cut our backfield. You know what I mean? Like get rid of Tevin Coleman, Jerick McKinnon. Just fuck those guys. You know what I mean? And they're gonna find someone else to. They got
Jermichael Hasty.
Like, it's still gonna be annoying. There's gonna be 3 of them still. Like, just give me one. You know what though? Shanahan rides those guys to the death that it always ends up there is gonna be one guy that emerges. You know what I mean? Just gotta have that right guy in fantasy. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have a ton of Jermichael Hasty this year. Watch, just picking him up.
Taxi squad,
right? Yeah, and I'm actually excited for Jeff Wilson Jr. though. Like, I hope he gets a lot of work.
Yeah, this might be like a hot take. I think he's the best running back in that backfield.
I agree. I mean,
I think Raheem Mostert is vastly overrated.
I think what Raheem Mostert was a hell of a story. A guy who floated around everywhere, played
Got
mad
cut
special
by the
teams.
Eagles like 4 times.
Yeah, and just just played special teams. Earned his keep. Injuries got him on. In the backfield, like to start. He flashed. I remember when he broke his fucking arm, dude. It was like a nasty one. I think it
Yeah,
was 2018, and
That thing snapped.
yeah, it was actually good that it snapped clean like that because he was able to heal fast. You know what I mean? But bro, like, yeah, he's just a cool story. You know what I mean?
Hey,
And what he does in real life is he's a surfer. I think that actually helped him on the field.
I'm sorry.
you know what I mean?
Mentioning a taxi squad just made me think. So I just got put in my first dynasty league. So Connor Burke, one of the writers, hit me up in the DMs. Was like, "Yo, I have this spot open in this dynasty league." The dude left. Do you want his team? I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll take it." And then I saw the team,
Damn.
and now I know why he left.
Damn.
So I just want to read this out.
Yes.
Oh god.
Damn.
This is what I have to rebuild this team, by the way.
This guy's got RG3. No.
He's got Nathan Peterman.
He does. He does.
Nathan Peterman.
He has RG3 on this team.
Oh.
I swear on everything I love.
Let's go.
He has RG3. Okay.
It was Blake's
So-
team that he ditched. He's like,
So-
I used to own that team.
So Baker Mayfield is the QB1. Do I need to say anything more? No, I'm playing. Mark Ingram, David Montgomery. So I like Baker Mayfield, David Montgomery. I like
Yeah,
Mike Evans, Amari Cooper.
Mm.
Golden Tate is his third best wide receiver apparently.
You mean soon to be New England Patriot? Why?
Bro, his tight end 1 is Devin Asiasi.
Oh my god.
Or my
Cool.
tight end 1. My tight end 1 apparently.
Yeah, yours
Um,
now.
Russell Gage, Jamison Crowder,
Damn, what was this guy doing?
Jared Goff, RG3,
Oh, no.
Cam Newton, Damian Williams is still on this team.
That might be a good for you.
Peyton Barber, Tariq Cohen, Bryce Love, Marvin Jones, Brandon Cooks, Jalen Rager.
Dude,
Yeah, that's it. You know what's worse? Okay,
Cool ass
he
2018 team.
doesn't even have a first.
right.
He doesn't even have a first round pick. He
No
traded-
first round pick.
So he finished dead last. So I would have gotten the
Of
101.
course. I could have guessed that
Yeah.
given the team.
Could have guessed that. You want to hear the trade? He traded the 101 in. So he gets Robert Woods, Mike Evans, Amari Cooper, and a third round pick. He gives up J.K. Dobbins, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and the 101.
Damn, that guy is stupid. No offense to that guy. I'm just
I mean, he's
You know what's sad? J-Love, let's be real. It's guys on the other side of that trade that are like us. You know what I mean? Like we're those guys.
Yeah,
We're
for
that
sure.
guy on the other side of that trade. Like, bro,
I
Yeah.
can't believe he just
J.K.
did that.
we're that guy. Like, listen, give me J.K. Dobbins, give me Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
The only thing I can understand about this trade, he had to have been confident in Mark Ingram. He was confident in Mark Ingram in 2020.
Damn.
I took him in the office like strictly for red zone touchdowns. That's the only reason I had him. But I wasn't even banking on any crazy
So-
yardage or anything.
So
but
now I have to rebuild this team. No first round pick.
Dang.
What would you guys suggest?
Mike, I'm moving Mike Evans.
try to get a first round pick first.
I'm moving. Well, first I'm probably going to try to sell off the hype and move Amari Cooper.
There it is. Amari
Because
Cooper.
everybody's flipping out because Dak just got a deal. I think I could get like the 105 or 106 for Amari Cooper.
For sure. That's what I'm trying to do. And if not, I'm using that same concept, that same ideology, and trying to flip Mike Evans because he came out the Super Bowl, looking with Tom Brady. But I'm saying
and here's my thing. If I do that, then I'm relying on
Cooper.
Yeah,
no. Well, I'm definitely flipping Amari Cooper. And so on. I'm relying on Brandon Cooks to be my wide receiver 1.
That's
What's
a
his deal?
fucking steep commitment.
He's
bud.
still with the Texans,
Yeah,
right?
I can't do that. especially with these Deshaun Watson trade room. I can't do that. I might flip Brandon Cooks and see if I can get like 3rd-round picks. But the one upside is I have he kept his other picks. Look, I have the 201 and the 301.
Okay.
Yo, that's a big spot. Hold up, I gotta kill the spider. This thing's huge.
Ugh. And you know what's funny is like I would never kill animals, shit like that. You know what I mean? But it's like spiders. You know what I mean? Motherfucking okay, mice too. Like mice, rats. Like, you know what I mean? We have no problem as humans destroying these things, right? Right? But it's like, yo, spiders especially, bro. I'm not fuck spiders, bro.
Bro, I'm just trying to picture how, like, if I am the guy that's trading Jay Love's, the guy that had Jay Love's team before, like, I am going full blown car salesman. Like, hey, listen here, bud. What you're paying for is peace of mind, and you can't really put a number on peace of mind, right? Like, I'm putting all of that shit out there just to try.
J.K. Dobbins and CEH and the 101. Like this guy is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Fucking madman.
So the 101 this trade was done before the season started. So he technically sold high on J.K. Dobbins, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and the 1st-round pick. But then it turned into the 101, and J.K. Dobbins turned into J.K. Dobbins. What?
Yeah, it backfired on him.
Yeah, me.
On you?
Me.
Hey man, if there's anyone
to welcome to the league.
Listen, I have the utmost faith that you'll turn that franchise around.
It's gonna take a couple 2-3 years, but you'll get there.
I actually adopted a dynasty team from Heart to Start. One of their guys bailed out. He has 2 1st-round picks, but it's also like, bro, I have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Hurts.
I'd sell Jalen Hurts. I don't like Jalen Hurts.
I'm moving him.
Good. High on Jalen Hurts. Yeah,
like
the likelihood of Philly taking a QB is way higher than people are talking about. If they're sitting there at the 6th pick, and if Zach Wilson or Justin Fields is sitting there, they are taking one of them
for sure. I mean, like, how about people got them taking a receiver like that? No.
Which I don't mind. If the 3 top QBs are gone, cool, take a receiver. But if one of those top 3 fall, take them.
I'm annoyed.
You have to.
I'm annoyed at that 5th spot if they grab receiver. The Bengals, if they go receiver, I'm hot. Like, you take the best.
The worst scenario for Philly is 1 and 2 go QB, whichever order. I'll just go classic. Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, go 1 and 2. 3, you probably see at this rate Jamar Chase go because the Dolphins just made a trade for an offensive lineman. So so that's your first receiver gone. 4, the Falcons could take a QB. They could take Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
Then
I also hear
5.
There's rumors of the Niners trying to swap out with them to get Zach Wilson too, but
you would have to trade way. You would have to trade way too much.
My Niners don't stuff like that.
And then 5, the Bengals could go. They would probably go offensive line at that point. But if they go receiver, then you're looking at probably Devontae Smith, Kyle Pitts. I actually don't mind. I would actually like. Well, there's no bad situation if you're the Eagles, honestly. But Kyle Pitts could be a really good fit there.
I mean, you think they go that direction? I mean, okay, it is. What's his name? Sirianni?
If I'm them, I'm going QB if he's there. If it's not, I would go Jalen Waddle because I think Jamar Chase is going to be gone, and I think Jalen Waddle's a better prospect than Devontae Smith. I know, hot take because Jalen Waddle has some injury history. I just like his. I know people overvalue speed in the NFL, but
the way Devontae Smith is built, though, he's going to get hurt like a lot in the NFL.
People said that about him in college, and he didn't. It's just more so that to me, Jalen Waddle is extremely fast, and I don't value speed as much as some people do, but he understands leverage. He's a great route runner. He has clean breaks. He plays a lot bigger than what he is.
Yeah.
Good at contested catches. He reminds me of Odell Beckham, if I could compare him to anybody. He's Odell Beckham that runs a 4.3.
I like that comparison.
That's what he reminds me of. And Odell Beckham's a top 10 receiver in the league when healthy.
Bro, we're about to see people run like 4.1s this year. Just because they're going to be like the wonky timekeepers.
Bro, I swear, I've seen
Yeah.
numerous people like Eric Stokes. Eric Stokes is not running a 4.2. They said he ran a 4.25. Like, no. There's no way you're running a 4.25. You're like a 4.4 flat type of guy. And it's because they're running with their camps, and then their camps are going to smudge the numbers just by a bit, even though that little bit is huge. You're like, oh, it's just a tenth of a second. Okay, that tenth of a second is you going from a late second rounder to okay, you're a lock for the first round.
Yeah,
You just made yourself like $6 million.
Exactly. It's fucking huge difference.
Right. If you're running a 4.4 flat, okay, you're a little bit above average for a corner speed. You run 4.3 flat, yo, you're fast. That's the difference.
And you know, when like you said about the speed being like a little overrated,
it's very overvalued.
Look at overvalued, I should say. You know, look at Henry Ruggs. Look at John Ross. You know what I mean? Like
John Ross is a fucking prime example, dude.
Well, yeah, that's just teams overvaluing speed. Again, everybody wants the next Tyreek Hill, but kind of like Derrick Henry. Yeah, you can draft the next 250-pound running back. They're not Derrick Henry.
They're one of ones. Like the fact that Tyreek Hill can continue to be that speedster, the cheetah for real, and not be a soft tissue injury riddled guy is amazing to me.
Well, yeah, because his legs are built like he has 2 big rigs on each leg. The dude's legs are.
Thurman Thomas, big boy.
He's built like a feline for real. Like they don't call him the cheetah for nothing. You know what I mean?
Pause.
Yeah, pause. That big pause.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny is like I feel like when we're evaluating players, it's like pause moments all day. Like he's long, he's strong. You know what I mean?
Understands length.
Right.
Understands length.
It's like, bro,
knows how to use his leverage. Like knows how to use his leverage. Hits the gap. Like,
oh shit! He hits the gap. Great vision. He sees the hole, hits it hard.
Great penetration.
Real north to south kind of guy rather than east to west.
Are we talking football?
I don't fucking know.
Exquisite technique.
Yes. Man.
Oh, fuck. All right.
I think
this is a good point to fucking wrap her up. Bogart, tell everyone when they can find you on social media.
You can find me at the GMM Network on both IG and Twitter. I will be there one day on Twitter, I swear. It's funny because Robbie goes, "You have 90 followers, bro, and you don't do nothing." I'm like, what?
What just sits there?
Right? And then you can also subscribe to the GMM Network on YouTube. Definitely check us out, the Run Boys Fantasy Network. You know what I mean? All of us, find us all there. You know what I mean? It's a big old party. You know what I mean? Check out me and Blake, the return of me and Blake, both on My Version's Better. J Love, we one of these Tuesday nights, we got to get you on My Version's Better. And
I work almost every single Tuesday.
What about Saturdays? Are you usually working Saturdays?
I can do Saturday morning, not Saturday night.
Okay, so yeah, Saturday night would have to be the thing.
What about Tuesday, like late?
Like this late? Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
But
yeah,
like,
I
work. I usually work from till about 10:30. So I get off at 10:30. So I can do from 10:30 to midnight, 10:30 to 1 or something like that. But
that's not bad. I mean, because we're hours. He's 2 hours, or he's an hour behind you. I'm 3 hours. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You guys are like
Central,
not on the East Coast.
Yeah.
J-Love,
9:30.
J-Love, tell everyone where they can find you on social media.
Runboys J-Love on Twitter. Hit up my articles, runboys.com. And that's it for me. I'm putting out articles this draft season. This is what I do. I scout. I have fun, and I love football, and I can't wait for draft season.
Frank, bro, that's where you shine, bro. Yeah. I'm coming up.
Can April 29th just be here already?
Right.
Yo, like I got my oldest daughter being sent. She's like, "Mommy said come up now."
All right. Well, hey,
No, I
appreciate
love it.
everyone that
I love it
listened
when
tonight.
stuff is online. Like when I get caught alive like that, I am human.
Fucking appreciate everyone listening tonight that did. This will be live on all platforms, podcast wise, Spotify, Anchor, Apple, you name it, Google, Pocket Cast, Radio Cast, whatever it is. Appreciate y'all listening. Cannot thank you enough. Go ahead and do me a favor out there and take your fucking sleazy.